Bilbao. Size for 380. We have different colors option is available in this one.
Because you like.
I've never mentioned NBA. I love
No,
NBA.
but you like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I do. NFL.
That's what I meant. What's NFL?
That's what I meant.
That's what. Yeah, football league.
Yeah.
That's.
But then why do I like Michael Jordan then? You are all over the gaff.
Have you got all his stuff?
Yeah.
Because you wear Jordans. You wear
He's
them all
not
day.
NFL, is he?
What is he? NFL.
NBA.
That's what I meant.
No, yeah, NFL. I'd love to have given that a go.
I like the fridge.
Like the fridge.
What position would it be? Quarterback.
Nah, probably wide receiver or running back.
All right, okay.
But honestly, brutal.
Good money though, right?
Yeah, unbelievable money, mate.
Who's the best wide receiver ever? Tom Thingy.
Jerry Rice, probably.
Who? Jeremy Rice.
Jerry Rice, probably. Yeah.
Right.
Played for.
What's
49ers.
Tom Birmingham City fella? What's his name?
Tom Brady, quarterback.
What was he? Quarterback.
Okay. Yeah, probably the best.
Is he?
He's the best. Yeah, probably.
Right,
yeah.
okay. Let me just write it down. I don't care about any of that. Right, last question.
What's up? Benty. How you doing, guys? Great show as always. Ben here, Chelsea fan. I just wanted to know, what's your favourite cheat meal? Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Good question again. So, Jimmy,
Well, it's every night now. But when
you
I
have
was,
a lot of rubbish now.
not so much, not really. But when I was playing,
Do you have breakfast?
yeah, probably. You know what? For breakfast, I'll probably just have a bit of fruit and.
What time are you having breakfast?
Well, I drop the kids to school, come back, and when I
And
sit
then
down
you-
and chill, yeah, I'll probably have.
when one of the servants comes in, I'm ready.
No,
You do
I'd have my ginger shot
All right.
with a bit of fruit.
Okay. Cheat meal. What would it be? Let's go for dinner.
No, if I'm playing.
What is your cheat meal?
Well,
Sorry.
people don't have cheat meals now, do they? Unless you're playing. If you're an athlete, then you have a cheat meal.
Dale's probably the person to ask for a cheat meal because look at the size of him. Do you have a cheat meal? You do. Would you have? Say it quickly. Brilliant.
My cheat meal's probably Chinese. I love a Chinese.
Pizza. He
food.
said pizza.
That's nice, but you know you can't help it. When my kids have McDonald's, you know when you cut the fries.
Kids have McDonald's. My
Yeah.
kids have never had McDonald's.
That's a lie.
What?
Honestly.
Okay, hold on. Let me just tell you this, right? I reckon they've had McDonald's once.
So, honestly,
No, but
in the fact of
No,
1 second, he's told a blatant lie.
Because you said it, and then I thought they've had it once.
Honestly, what?
My kids have probably had McDonald's once, and no other fast food, no Wimpy, no Burger King, ever. And I guarantee you, neither of them have ever had a fizzy drink.
So funny. The guy went, they've never had McDonald's.
Okay, once, they've had it once.
And then 2 seconds
That's still amazing.
Yeah.
They've never had it.
No pizza.
Yeah, they've had pizza. Yeah,
So they've had fast food then.
Yeah, but if you have if you have good pizza, you can have, not pizza up rubbish.
No.
Sorry, not pizza up rubbish. They're not rubbish. Nice.
You never had pizza up.
I've had it, but they don't eat bad food. Is what I'm saying.
Domino's?
Yeah, they've had that.
Okay, so they've had bad food then.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, no, hold on, you're missing my point.
No, you've said to me in the last 15
your
seconds.
kids have had McDonald's probably every day.
No, 15 seconds you've said to me.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm implying here.
1 second.
You throw them under the bus. I'm saying they don't have rubbish food a lot.
But in the last 25 seconds, I've said, have they had McDonald's? They've never had McDonald's. No, they've had it once. They don't eat the good pizza.
Right.
So they've had Domino's. Yes, they've had Domino's. Where are we?
You understand what I'm saying?
I've had Coke.
What?
Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola. No.
Fanta.
No.
Lemonade.
Yes.
So they've had...
Because it's coming back to me. Wait,
So they've had...
hold on, do you know so funny? And I'm throwing myself under the bus.
Yeah.
I've just realised
What?
my little one on Saturday had McDonald's. But my big one doesn't.
Honestly.
Well, no, they usually eat really well. What were you going to say about yours at McDonald's?
No, they haven't. I'll nick a couple of chips or like a bite in a burger or
Oh,
something.
right, okay, that's all right.
Honestly.
But I
In
don't...
1 minute, you've just told about 6 lies.
No, I haven't told a lie. I just forgot, right? I reckon your kids eat... What are you doing?
No, I'm not going to obviously say where you live. Someone said, and I've seen him in a restaurant down where you live.
Yeah?
Before.
What restaurant?
Wimpy.
No.
Is there the one down your high street?
Yes. But I don't go in there.
Someone said this.
Uber Eats. Forgot about that. Right, we move on. More for me. Oh, we've got team news, have we? We've got to thank God for that. We've been saved by team news. Right, a big night in the race for Europe. Forest, they host Brentford in the Premier League. It's live and exclusive on TalkSport 2. Forgot about Wimpy. 7:30. Adam Bridge is at the City Ground watching for TalkSport. He's got all the team news for us now. Bridgie, get me out of this hole, would you?
I will do. You go and get yourself a burger. Forest, if they win tonight, will go up to third in the table, back in those Champions League places. 4 changes tonight for Forest from the side beaten by Manchester City in that FA Cup semi-final. Williams returns and Yates. They were both suspended, of course. Langer comes into the starting 11. Ola Aina is also fit. He's been out since the 1st of April with a calf problem. He returns tonight. So a much more familiar look inside. Abbott, Toffolo, Dominguez and Danilo, the players that drop out. So 4 changes tonight for Forest, much simpler for Brentford and Thomas Frank. His side looking to try and squeeze into those European places. In 8th, they've got Fulham to play and they'd move within 2 points of them with a victory tonight. They're unchanged from their last 4-2 win over Brighton and Hove Albion. We're underway tonight at 7:30. The game live and exclusive to National Radio on TalkSport 2.
Good work. If you're watching on YouTube, you would have seen like generic images of Forest fans getting ready for the game, and then a shot of City Ground. You've played there?
Yeah.
What's that like? It looks like quite a small on top of you.
Yeah, it's a nice stadium though.
Is it?
Yeah, I always enjoy playing there. Yeah, really nice place.
It's quite open on 2 sides, right?
Yeah, it is. Just felt it's got that old field tradition to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a nice place to play.
Do you go a bit like when you go to Villa? You know that they've won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Do you feel that when you go to Forest?
Well, I've only been inside the parts where like players' entrance and then like straight to the away dressing room, straight out. Whereas obviously being a player at Villa, you sense how big that club is when you walk around the building and the hallways and stuff. You understand their history.
Reminder, that game is live tonight on TalkSport 2.
Drive on TalkSport with Motorpoint. Excellent cars, excellent choice, and rated excellent on Trustpilot. Visit your local store today.
Win a once-in-a-lifetime trip to watch the Champions League final live. Go to TalkSport.com/win for your chance to embark on the ultimate odyssey of football ecstasy. With 2 tickets to the Champions League final live at the iconic Munich Football Arena, Germany. Including flights, accommodation and an uber-massive $5,000 in your hand.
How about that?
Enter online now at TalkSport.com/win. Terms and conditions apply. Achtung, baby.
Drive on TalkSport with Motorpoint. Excellent cars, excellent choice, and rated excellent on Trustpilot. Visit your local store today.
Great result. Thanks, Peter. Coming up, we have League Action live on Friday night, followed by 3 more games live on Saturday, then 2 more massive games live on Sunday. And don't forget, League Action live on Monday night. Then it's over to Europe for the big one, live on Tuesday. Then the even bigger one, live on Wednesday. Then it's the other European competition.
Sometimes a break isn't a bad idea. So, if ever you want to take time out from betting, use Paddy Power's Take a Break tool to pause your account. Paddy Power. 18 plus, begambleaware.org.
The need for certainty is absolute. The mission falls to him.
Professional tilers know that Ultra Trade is a brand they can trust. And now, the Ultra Trade range is available at over 220 Wick stores nationwide. Check out our range of UK-manufactured tile adhesives, levelling compounds and primers, specifically designed for professional tilers. Find us online or visit your local Wicks today to discover exclusive offers and save £3 a bag on all S1 adhesives until the end of May. Ultra Trade from Wicks, your trusted products at a trusted location.
My crystal ball tells me you'll meet a mysterious man with a spooky way of talking. You will give him money. Thank you. Then you'll see a sign.
Ooh, what sign?
That one there, with exit on it.
This isn't fair. I want my money back.
Not seeing you getting your money back.
What a rip-off.
Now, how did I know you were going to say that?
Don't leave your future to chance. At Skipton, we believe in fairness, so we offer free money advice to help you plan ahead. Skipton Building Society, founded on fairness.
Get that Euro Millions feeling with Friday's £84 million jackpot. Plus, 10 UK winners are guaranteed to be millionaires. That's 10 more reasons to dance. 10 more robots, 10 more limbos, 10 more salsas. Friday's EuroMillions jackpot is £84 million. And 10 UK winners are guaranteed to be millionaires. EuroMillions from the National Lottery. Play on app. Estimated jackpot. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning in cinemas May 21. Book now.
Talk Sport traffic.
Kent, the M20 is shut westbound. That's been closed after a lorry fire between junction 12 for Cheriton and junction 11A for the Channel Tunnel. In Surrey, delays of an hour on the clockwise M25. That's partly blocked after a collision between junction 11 at Chertsey and junction 12 for the M3. And in Hertfordshire, the M1 northbound is partly blocked after a collision involving a lorry between junction 9 for Redbourne and junction 10 for Luton Airport. I'm Adam Moore.
Captivating commentary of the weekend's biggest games.
It's a brilliant goal!
This Saturday, exclusive full match commentary of Leicester City versus Southampton.
Against the post and turned it on the rebound!
Coverage from 2:30, kick-off 3 p.m. on TalkSport 2.
Driver talks about me and goes in down Better Motorpoint, thousands of cars, all unbeatable prices guaranteed. Head to motorpoint.co.uk for details. Fancy a takeaway now. Still to come, we'll continue to build up to a huge night of European football live on the TalkSport network, but now it's time for this.
Win a once-in-a-lifetime trip to watch the Champions League final live.
Achtung, baby. Football fans, you and a mate could be live in the Allianz Arena watching the biggest game in European football, the Champions League final. We're not just sending you there, no, not just sending you there. Oh, no, sorry, we're putting £5,000 in your pocket to spend however you want. We've sorted your flights, we've sorted your hotel, it's all done. It's all on us, spending money in your back pocket for a night out in the final city, again, on us. 18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland, for a chance to win that VIP trip. Simply text the word final, FINAL. 8338, that's the text number, 8338. You must send that text by the 16th of May, and you must do it on that day by 11 p.m. The text costs £2. One standard network rate message as well. You must have Bill Payer's permission. Or you can send your name and number by post to Champions League Final Competition PO Box 3190, Colchester CO2 8GP. And it must arrive by 5 p.m. on May the 21st.
This is a TalkSport Limited competition run on TalkSport Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Shall we look ahead now to night 13 in the Premier League of Darts, live from Birmingham this evening? What are you getting excited for? It's on the TalkSport Darts YouTube channel as well from 7 p.m. Let's just go through, because we love our darts. Littler, my boy, against Bunting. Will he be going Bunting mental?
Let's go Bunting mental.
I can't see it happening. You know, I think I got this right, the last 3 or even 4 weeks, I think it's 3, haven't had a Luke in the final.
No. I know Humphreys has had a bit of a tough time recently.
Well, you still speak to him?
He got to the final last week.
No.
Humphreys?
No.
He got beat by Gerwyn Price.
Oh, sorry, I haven't had a winner.
Yeah.
No, Luke's won the last 4.
Yeah, he lost to Gerwyn Price last week.
Yeah.
Was it Gerwyn Price?
I can't remember.
Am I going nuts?
I don't know.
Either way,
I think it was Gerwyn Price.
Yeah, he lost in the final last week.
What's happening? You spoken to him?
I sent a little message after there was all that stuff about, obviously, he came out, didn't he, and said about, was it like mental health and stuff? And
when was that? Is it that?
A couple of weeks ago, yeah, so I sent him a little message of support.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, Littler Bunting tonight. Littler.
You say that. I almost feel like sometimes Littler's that good that sometimes his only problem is when himself. You know when you just get too comfortable?
He ain't got a problem.
No, he's that good that when you watch him play sometimes, you know when he just has them lapses because he tries, that's the only way he gets beaten. Because imagine he's zoned in every night, he wins everything.
Yeah.
He wins it all the time.
He's frightening. I still say, this is for a chat another day, but I still say he's the greatest ever teenager in sport, ever.
You know, you're nuts. You're crazy.
I'm not nuts, Benny.
You are. You got your Mao last night as another one. He's won the Euros as well.
Yeah, but he's in a team.
Doesn't
it's
matter.
Totally different.
It doesn't matter.
It's a team event. You can hide. You can win stuff in a team event.
Yeah, but the numbers in darts.
He's doing it on his own.
Oh, yeah, but the numbers in darts are not like they are at football.
Doesn't matter. He's doing it on his own. So you can't. Okay, in a single sport, I'll change it to make you happy. Single sport, it's greatest ever teenager.
Okay, well, some people will come with their examples, but I still think I'd take any teenage sensation for
He's
Pele.
the best in the world, and he's the world champion.
Yeah, but you've got to look at numbers.
I don't have to look at anything.
We do. If there's I'm going to exaggerate a point to prove a point.
Right.
If only 5 players play darts.
Yeah, but they don't.
No, okay, but there's not as many as play football.
I know, but I just said it's a single sport.
Okay, well, people will say
Tennis,
examples.
golf. How weird that you don't get that in golf, by the way.
There's a few tennis players that won it as teenagers.
Yeah, but not continued to be unbeatable.
Mate, he's been going 2 years.
Exactly, that's my point. Why don't we get 17-year-old golf players?
I don't know.
Why is that? Someone needs to explain that. Why have we got Why is there not a 17-year-old Littler in golf?
There's a cricketer.
Yeah.
14 years old.
Oh, you read that
I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Just hit the fastest 100.
Yeah, so that's different. Because there's a 14-year-old bowler at him.
Mate, he's got grown men trying to take his head off.
No.
I'm taking the 14-year-old.
No, the fella that's bowling is 14.
No, he's a batsman who's 14. He's going against fully grown men.
Oh, hold on. It's a full adult game?
Yes,
and he's
IPL.
14.
Yes, IPL.
Oh, he should be allowed. He's too young.
No, so that's the greatest teenager, that.
Yeah, but no, he's had one good afternoon, mate.
Andy, the guy's 14.
Yeah, Littler's 17. He's champion of the world.
There's 3 years difference.
But Geezer's had one good afternoon.
The guy should still be in school.
Doesn't matter.
He's not even finished school yet.
Littler's he should be in college.
No, come on.
No.
Andy, the guy's 14.
Yes, he's had a great... He's not king of the world. Littler's king of the world, mate.
Mate, he's playing the IPL.
Doesn't matter if he's... It doesn't matter.
Oh, no, you're crazy, Andy. An accomplishment at 14 is better than being world champion at 17.
Absolutely. What are you talking about?
We'll have
so the Geezer's at a cricket ball. X amount of times got 100.
100.
And Littler's champion of the world.
The best players in the world playing the IPL. And he's got 100. And he's 14.
Who's bowling against him?
Mate,
you don't even know his name.
I'll get his name for you.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You know Littler's name?
No, yeah, because we're here. I don't live.
No.
I don't live. I don't
Who's
live
the
in
bowler?
India. Okay, I'll tell you. I bet they're decent.
I bet you've never heard of him.
What?
Right? This will take ages now.
No.
Aspinall against Chris Dobie is the second quarter-final. Luke Humphries, your boy, against Gerwin Price.
What are you trying to say?
So maybe... What? The bowler?
Yeah, no, the bowler.
Yeah? Found it? I bet you've never heard of him.
No, the batsman, and I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not going to try.
Okay. But, Rob Cross against Michael Van Gogh is the other one.
Oh, I like Rob Cross.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks for that. Still to come, we'll continue to build up to a huge night of European football live on the TalkSport Network. First, it's time for no Googling. The last time 2 English sides reached the Europa League finals back in 2019, Chelsea smashed Arsenal 4-1. Embarrassing.
Remember that day.
We want to know which teams did Arsenal and Chelsea beat in the semis? Good question. The answer to that and loads more coming up. And team news. Don't forget that. All coming up in the last 30 minutes of today's show.
Drive on TalkSport with Motorpoint. New car, same day drive away. Available on all cars. Book a test drive today.
The manager is subbing on the big man. And another change now. Rodgers comes on, the veteran right back. And now the third choice goalie enters the field. They can barely contain themselves here. With new Super Sub from Paddy Power, all subs are now super. Because if a player in your bet is subbed off, it carries over to the new player coming on. Paddy Power. Football, you gotta love it. Valid on selected leagues and markets only. Pre-match and in-play bets on qualifying player outcome selections only. T's and C's and exclusions apply. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org.
Drive on TalkSport with Motorpoint. Discover all of your favourite car brands, including BMW, Ford, Audi, Hyundai, and more. See online for details.
It's just you versus your mates with Le Bomb, the quality new football predictor app. With Le Bomb, you predict the results for the weekend's big games. Invite your mates, then add a few quid to the in-app pot. The mate with the most points at the end of the weekend wins the cash kitty. Simple. With Le Bomb, it's just you versus your mates, wherever you are. Download the Le Bomb app today and get your mates on it this weekend. LEBOM. Le Bomb. 18 plus BeGambleAware.org. Winning subject to 10% transaction fee.
We recycle our McCafe cups and turn them into birthday cards. That's a lot of celebrations and millions of happy birthdays. That's just one way at McDonald's we change a little, change a lot. Excludes cup lid. Recycling units available in UK restaurants. Search National Cup Recycling Scheme.
Get that Euro Millions feeling with Friday's £84 million jackpot. Plus, 10 UK winners are guaranteed to be millionaires. That's 10 more reasons to dance. 10 more robots, 10 more limbos, 10 more salsas. Friday's Euro Millions jackpot is £84 million. And 10 UK winners are guaranteed to be millionaires.
Euro Millions from the National Lottery. Play on app. Estimated jackpot. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Save this bank holiday with Lidl. Get 15% off the Sea and Sun Care range with mini SPF 50 sun lotion for just £1.26 with Lidl Plus. And 30p off Genitelli Deluxe ice cream tubs, now just £2.19. Download Lidl Plus and start saving today. 18 plus GB only while stocks last. Terms apply. See lidl.co.uk/LPTV. Offer ends 5th of May.
On average, Rift get their customers £3,000 back.
I like a rubber ball like a mountain.
Let's get the ball rolling. Search Rift Tax Refunds.
Ready, steady, the Toyota-thon is on!
Race down to your nearest Toyota centre and save up to an extra £1,000 on a new Toyota. But hurry! Deals must end 31st of May. The Toyota-thon sale event is on. Offer valid on eligible new vehicle orders 1st to 31st of May and registered by 31st of July 2025. Retail customers only. T&Cs apply. See toyota.co.uk for details.
Why, you should chipper? I thought United were in meltdown. Yeah, we are. So why are you so happy then? Because it's nearly over, mate. Only 4 league games to go. No more false dawns, no more we go again. Just sweet, beautiful nothingness. Yeah, until August. Oh. Yes, the season might be drawing to a close, but unlike some, Paddy is still going strong. You can get your money back as a free bet if your bet builder loses on any Premier League match this Friday to Monday. Paddy Power. Pre-match online bet builder bets only. Min 4 legs plus. Must have previously deposited to avail. Max free bet varies from £2 to £25 per customer. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
This is Drive Talk Sport. Me and go seeing Darren Bent alongside. We'll have team news for you ahead of 2 huge games in Europa League semi-finals. Man United and Spurs both in action. That will be coming up, but first with the news, here's Emma Kerwin.
Talk Sport News.
Thank you, Andy. Good evening. Another retailer's been targeted by cyber hackers. This time it's Harrods. There's also been a similar issue at the Co-op this week. M&S was hit 2 weeks ago and still isn't back to normal. Cybersecurity expert Graham Batsman says concerns are growing among British retailers.
Usually when you hit a private firm, you probably want money. More recent cases, they will often leak or claim to leak the data and say, please pay us some money or we'll leak. So it could be both as well.
It's officially been the hottest start to May on record.
It's gone from being really nice, now it's a teensy bit too hot today. We just had a lunch sitting outside at our friend's pub.
Just taking a quick lunch break from working at home, so this is perfect temperatures.
Temperatures have hit 29.1 degrees in Surrey. We're being warned against cooling off in open waters, though. This after a 16-year-old boy died in Nottinghamshire after getting into difficulty in a lake. Wildfire warnings have also been issued. One is still burning in the Peak District 24 hours on. Police on Merseyside are questioning a 14-year-old boy on suspicion of attempted murder. It's after 2 teenagers were seriously hurt in a stabbing last night. And petrol prices have dropped to a near 4-year low. The RAC says the average price of a litre of the fuel was now 134.6 pence.
Talk Sport with Bostik. If you're looking for a professional grade sealant that offers technologically advanced performance, choose Bostik Pro Sealants.
With questions over his future as Spurs boss, Ange Postecoglou says never mind about next year. It's all about the here and now. And Amad Diallo could feature in Manchester United Europa League semi-final against Athletic Bilbao tonight. Max has more at 7.
Only one radio heavyweight brings you unbeatable, canvas-thumping coverage of the biggest bouts in world boxing. Talk Sport. Go the distance with unparalleled ringside commentary of the biggest boxing showdowns.
Unbelievable stuff at the Manchester Arena!
With 2 tough-talking boxing shows, Fight Night and Fight Night Extra.
The fight starts now!
Plus, get total knockout content on our world-class boxing podcasts and dedicated YouTube channel.
Swaggering, full of confidence.
Available now, and it's all for free. Talk Sport and Talk Sport 2, your home of boxing.
Raw adrenaline and the biggest names in sport.
Talk Sport Drive.
I'll tell you what, Jack's playing some summer vibes, isn't he? If I was going to like Ibiza with O'Hara, these are the type of tunes I'd imagine I'd get coming out from some kind of beach club.
I was listening to Breakfast this morning a little bit and they were dropping a few jams.
Were they?
Yeah, they were, yeah.
What, like well-known songs?
Well-known songs.
For longer than 15 seconds?
Yep, it was, yeah.
Jack just said they're going to get in trouble. They won't get in trouble.
No problem.
We'll get in trouble if we did it. Before the break, I asked the question, which teams did Arsenal and Chelsea beat in the semis to reach the final the last time two English sides got to a Europa League final in 2019? No.
Stop burping. What's wrong with you?
All right, don't need to tell anyone. I hid that. I didn't burp. Yeah, okay, but go
on. Spanish?
Yeah, one is.
Valencia.
Yeah. Chelsea beat.
Arsenal beat Valencia, right?
Yeah.
Chelsea beat in the semis.
Do you want a clue?
Go on. Oh, there we go.
Surname Brentford's manager.
Frank.
And
Frankfurt.
Find out from 7.
Sorry. Man, Hell, Stutter, Herridge.
That does sound like Daniel Sturridge. It does. Following us from 7, Hugh.
Me?
Huh?
Me?
Oh, not you.
Okay.
Hugh Wittenbrook. Okay. Yeah. Hugh will be bringing you...
No, so I'm here with you now.
Oh, no, mate, Hugh Wittenbrook. He's bringing you still one second. Live Europa League football's Man United go away to Bilbao in the semi-final. Meanwhile, over on TalkSport on the app, you can hear Spurs in their first leg against Bodo Glimt. We'll be getting all the team news from both of those games right here on Drive as soon as they drop. So let's look ahead to tonight's games in the Europa League with our friends at Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Europa League preview on Talk Sport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Making a move or planning a clear out with vans of all shapes and sizes. If you've got a plan, we've got a van.
Let's start with TalkSport's live commentary of Athletic Bilbao against Man United tonight. Bilbao beat Rangers in the quarterfinals. They currently sit 4th in La Liga. United boss Ruben Amorim, he's been speaking to the media ahead of the game, and he said his players are capable of going on to win the competition.
I think they are prepared, and if you see this team. Maybe with some problems during the year, they were able to win cups, and that is also a pressure, especially English Cup, that a big thing in our league. So they are prepared. They are every player are international, but then the context and this season was really complicated in every aspect. So I don't see that is an issue. They are excited to be here. They want to win. They are capable of winning.
Let me ask you this question, right, with Ruben Amorim, right? If 10 out of 10 is, I'm 100% sure he's the right man, and if 1 is, I think he's going to be Ange Postecoglou, what number do you...
Whoa. Sorry, say again.
Okay, if 10...
Yep. I'm fully convinced with him.
Yeah.
I know he's the right man.
And if 1 on that scale is you think he's going to turn out like Ange at Spurs, what number are you giving him right now?
4.
Wow, that's low.
Yeah,
you're not convinced at all with him?
Not in a minute, no. I would have expected to
I agree with you, by the way.
Some new manager bounces a thing. You always see a reaction, right? I just haven't seen enough. And I think the players have got to take, obviously, responsibility of that. But you've won 1 in your last 7. And that was that ding-dong against Lyon, which was a great game. But I don't, you know what the problem is? I don't know what I'm going to get from Manchester United week to week. You obviously got the draw of Bournemouth away. Evan Nilsson, unlucky to... I'm glad that's been rescinded, by the way. The red card, because he slipped quite clear. Yes, common sense, he slips, right?
Should be given you on it.
Rasmus gets a goal, which is important for himself. As a centre forward, you need that.
He's not a bad player.
No, he's not bad. I mean, you don't become a professional footballer if you're a bad player.
No, but you know what I mean.
At that level, the club's huge. He can't be their number 9. I'm just not quite sure what I'm getting from Manchester United week to week. Like, if you got beat tonight, heavily 4-0, I wouldn't be surprised.
No, nor would I.
I would be probably slightly surprised if you won.
boys. Ready? If you hate Arsenal, 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 get your side, man. On the bar, that's it. There ain't no bins, so I'm on the bar or on the side. If you hate Arsenal, beers up! If you hate Arsenal, beers up! Oh, rattling some people, aren't we, eh? Proper rattling. Well, you've never sung Spurs songs at Arsenal, no? Of course you have. It's magic on the ball. It's nice for Scotland, Oxford, and it's come from Senegal. There's a star man. It's magic on the ball. It's nice for Scotland, Oxford, and it's come from Senegal. There's a star man. Magic on the ball. It's nice for Scotland, Oxford, and it comes from Senegal. There's a star man, it's magic on the ball. It's nice for Scotland, Oxford, and it comes from Senegal. Man, it's magic on the ball. It's nice for Scotland, Oxford, and it comes from Senegal. It's all banter, boys. It's all banter. Remember, you've got a song about Havertz. Just remember that. Yeah, before you start climbing up. Scroll on if it's bothering you, do you know what I mean? Rastafari. That's it. There's loads of them about, mate. Whoa. Dripping with sweat already. Scotland! 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 see. We'll see. Why not? There's a lot of children in my life now, aren't there? Or a lot of immature adults, it's one of the two. Yo! Now the typho goes up as they come out the tunnel. It's just a load of paper bags, plastic bags you've got to hold up. Let's not bother playing this game because we're going to lose the next one. Charleston left wing. Charleston left wing. Johnson on the right, Solanke up top. Basuma. What is he doing? Better can imagine Basuma.
Reds. Whoa, that's not nice. Guys, keep on clicking that like button for me. Can we get to 10k? Kieran, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. Remember, guys, if you follow me, I do giveaways and everything. I'm giving away a Forest shirt at 10k. I'm doing competitions where I give away even more Forest shirts, more Forest scarves, and everything like that. So I appreciate it. I went to the semi-final. Come on, City. So did I. All I know is back. Forest, Reds. Get a load off this guy. Thank you. Come on, Reds. We need a win. Yes. Come on, you Reds. Yes. Guys, are you happy that Aina is back? Tell me. Are you happy Aina is back? We needed Yates as well. I'm glad he's back, even though he could play in the Prem. It was just a yellow card for the semi-final. But we need Yates to control that midfield. You get me? I am. That get a load of a guy wasn't about you. I think, yes, I know speed and he's a baller. Guys, Eured. Yeah, man, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. We go third. Come on, Eured. Come on, Eured. Third. Yo, big up the Brentford fans in here. You get me? Brentford, let me know who you think scoring as well. If anyone's going to score, if I say his name, forgive me if I said it wrong. Mbumu, I think it's going to be him. He drinks right being and scores a screamer. Yes, Forest of Magic. Nottingham Forest are massive everywhere we go. Thank you, Luke. Blue Moon saw me standing alone. Was he resting? I know. This is what I'm saying. Come on, Forest. Blue Moon saw me standing alone without a dream in my heart. Guys, if anyone's in the live that's not following me, make sure you give your boy Zed a follow. Get to know Zed the Red. That is me. The sun is shining. Derby are massive. No, Evening Forest got unlucky. Yes, we did. Thank you for the follow, MUFC. Nottingham Forest were coming for you. If he was resting, I know Williams are Forest fans okay with that. Yeah, I mean, I would prefer to win, obviously, but back to the reality, the Prem and the Champions League, that's what we're after. I will not follow a Forest player because I'm a... Fair enough, you Reds, do you fancy giving us a Langa? We'll give you... I am dead. Shout out Owen and Ross. Yo. Whoa, guys, I'm trying to keep up with the messages. You Reds! There you go, NFFC. I got you, bro. I got you. Yo, I'm a Liverpool fan, but I went to Forest to get Champions League. Appreciate you. Shout out Owen and Ross. I shall not do that. Big up everyone that's walking by. You right, mate? Lovely day today, man. Derby are trash. Derby can't talk. They're getting relegated from Champions. Yep. Yo, come on, you Reds. Remember, guys. Hello, buddy. You right? Guys, if you follow me, remember I do giveaways, everything. Forest shirts, scarves, all of that. And I make Forest songs. No one's making Forest songs. So, come on. Trying to look for my son. Hope you find him, Jenna. You Reds. Guys, if anyone's in the live that's not following me, give your boys a follow, please. Because I'm trying to do this full time just for you lot, man. You get me? I love you lot. Derby, Derby, Derby. Thank you, Lacey, for the follow. Derby, Derby. Up the Reds. Yep. No, stop saying Derby. Wish I was there right now. Yo, if are any of you lot in the live right now coming?
Great comment, Luke. Great comment, mate. Terrible lineup. You lot are funny tonight. Bloody hell. You can tell it's bank holiday weekend, can't you? All the children are out. Stokes chart. Luke, how old are you, mate? I reckon you're about 15. Or is that your banter? You genuinely think we ain't got no trophies? Really? Mad. Mad. I didn't mad that all you lot are sitting here watching the Tottenham live. Bit weird, isn't it? Bit weird. Obsessed, yeah? Who's obsessed? Oh, right. Keep watching, keep commenting. You're only helping me up. I think you'll find every single team copies someone else at some point or another. But thanks for coming. Keep coming, please. Keep coming. Hey, Brad, you was phoning me when you got home from shopping. Yeah, I'm on it, yeah, will be. Cheers, Tommy. Go and put a bet on it. If you think we'll get relegated next season, go and put a bet on it.
Make sure the hair's sorted. Now you want your picture?
When the Spurs go marching in, we're out of sync, marching in, I wanna be in that number. I wanna be in that number, when the Spurs go marching in. Let's fight, Jersey's over, Let's all know. We are the Southern boys. Hello, we are the Southern boys. And if you are Arsenal fans, surrender or you'll die. We all follow the Southern. Hello, we are the Southern boys. Hello, we are the Southern boys. Surrender or you'll die. We all follow the Southern. Hello. Still loud. Said I'm not doing it. Said I want to chant about it today. You better be following up. Yeah, following up. Sang in Spain, we sang in the sun and we sang in the rain. You tried to stop us, we did. The thing I most is being in. Judas! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey! from tonight. I haven't even seen the chat. What's going on? From Tottenham, the boys from White Hart Lane. Oh, Spurs are on their way to Bilbao. Someone's gonna do it. Someone's gonna do it. Yeah. They can't stop all the boys from Tottenham, the boys from White Hart Lane. Oh. The boys from Tottenham, the boys from White Hart Lane. Oh. I'm finding it hard to do anything. And when you're sad, when you're glad, if you only knew what I'm going through, I just can't smile without you. Hey, you know me. To Bilbao, Tottenham's gonna do it again. You can't stop all the boys from Tottenham, the boys from White Hart Lane. On their way to Bilbao, Tottenham's gonna do it again. You can't stop all the boys from Tottenham, the boys from White Hart Lane. Spurs are on their way to Bilbao. Tottenham's gonna do it again. Hey! Tottenham's gonna do it again. I'm real today. Guys, get following up right now. Follow up.
Yesterday was really bad.
shots up, yes, boss. Come on, mate. Left side, and Arsenal fan on the street. He told me to kick his fucking head in. Told me to kick his fucking head in. An Arsenal fan on the street. Told me to kick his fucking head in. Everywhere we go. Unbelievable. Needs a performance to match this now. You know me! Yeah, that was there. Yan, 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 but so good. Toby, 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 out of hero. Mickey Donovan! Mickey Donovan! Donovan! Mickey Donovan! And if you're an Arsenal fan, surrender or you die. We'll fall over Tottenham. Hello, hello.
They're so fucking Tottenham. He signs a 7-year contract and he gets injured on the same fucking day.
Fucking A Arsenal! Fucking A Arsenal! Fucking A Arsenal!
No, they couldn't have a more Tottenham then. Signs a 16-year and gets injured for fucking...
Oh, mate, Coy, come with you, Spurs. He's taken a semi-final to get to this kind of atmosphere. It's a shame, but listen, you take it, you take it. Bergdahl's injured.
Yeah, out for the season.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's an interesting lineup, that's all I'm saying. So, Spurs Rory talks football. Go Ali! I just don't think you understand. Of course I do. Come here, Ali! Go Ali! I just don't think you understand. It only cost my bill. It's better than a two. Come here, Ali! Go Ali! Just don't think you understand. It only cost my bill. It's better than a two. Come here, Ali! Love it. Love it. I'm not singing it. I'm not doing it today. It's loud though.
Guys, if you're in here, drop a like, drop a follow. Get these followers up. Get the followers up. Come on.
Up the Spurs!
Come on!
Come on, fucking Spurs!
Spurs!
How many people we got? 144. Come on!
Well, we're going to head in, I reckon, in about 10-15 minutes. Oh, atmosphere feels good. We are the Tottenham boys. We are the Tottenham boys. And if you're an Arsenal fan, surrender or you'll die. We all follow the Tottenham. We are the Tottenham boys. Atmosphere since I've felt since the Champions League final. 6 long years. Unreal. Guys, you're yeah.
Kick-off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5+ hacker lets you down. Pre-match straight-line hackers only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18+ gambleaware.org. Off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5+ hacker lets you down. Pre-match straight-line hackers only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18+ gambleaware.org.
When you're taking part in Race for Life, nothing feels better than crossing the finish line. Because it's when every penny raised begins to fund the vital work of Cancer Research UK. Just like retirement, where it's not your finish line, it's just the beginning. Retirement savings and income from Standard Life. Proud partner of Cancer Research UK's Race for Life. Phoenix Life Limited trading as Standard Life. For full details, visit standardlife.co.uk.
TalkSport Bet. If you want to flutter, punters know it's the only place to go. 'Cause you'll get the form and the latest odds across your sync devices. Plus weekly bet boost prices. Win big jackpots from a classic game of slots. TalkSport Bet, the broadcast bonus bookie, keeping you on track with all the sporting stats. Steeple chases, even title races, looking after sports fans. You know, 'cause TalkSport Bet is the app that does all that. It's the only place to go.
18+ begambleaware.org.
We recycle our McCafe cups and turn them into birthday cards. That's a lot of celebrations and millions of happy birthdays. That's just one way. At McDonald's, we change a little, change a lot. Excludes cup lid. Recycling units available in UK restaurants. Search National Cup Recycling Scheme.
I'm Mike Brewer, and while I may be a bit of a wheeler dealer, I never mess about when it comes to my car. At mymotorworld.com, we've got the lot with top car care products from the biggest brands like Carplan, Demon, Car Gods and Tika. We even do free delivery on orders over 25 quid. Forget about being a wheeler dealer and get a great deal for your wheels. Order now at mymotorworld.com.
mymotorworld.com.
Football is full of big moments.
Penalty!
The near misses.
Oh!
The last-minute winners.
It's an absolute screamer!
Put yourself at the heart of the action with Betfred. Check out our huge range of football markets, daily offers and price boosts in shops and online. Love football? Betfred. 18+ gambleaware.org.
On average, Rift get their customers £3,000 back.
I like a rubber ball like a mountain.
Let's get the ball rolling. Search Rift Tax Refunds.
Why, you should chipper. I thought United were in meltdown. Yeah, we are. So why are you so happy then? Because it's nearly over, mate. Only 4 league games to go. No more false dawns, no more we go again. Just sweet, beautiful nothingness. Yeah, until August. Oh. Yes, the season might be drawing to a close, but unlike some, Paddy is still going strong. You can get your money back as a free bet if your bet builder loses on any Premier League match this Friday to Monday. Paddy Power. Pre-match online bet builder bets only. Min 4 legs plus. Must have previously deposited to avail. Max free bet varies from £2 to £25 per customer. T's and C's apply. 18+ gambleaware.org.
Jim White and Simon Jordan on Talk Sport. Mid-morning radio that's up for the job.
We spent £500 million to get precisely nowhere.
Concrete sports talk.
It really is incredible.
Rapid setting opinion.
You're not justifying it, but you're explaining it. It doesn't need an explanation.
Big names, all backed up.
Anthony Joshua, good afternoon.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, delivered tomorrow morning from 10 on Talk Sport by Selco Builders Warehouse. Check stock at your local branch. We've got it at selcobw.com.
Europa League Live on Talk Sport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whether you're on holiday, at home or away this summer, Enterprise has locations all over Europe and a vehicle that's just right for you.
This Saturday,
Game day is go.
stimulate your senses with a heavy-duty payload of thrilling Premier League football.
What a start!
Exclusive full-match commentary of Aston Villa versus Fulham.
And turned it on the rebound!
Coverage from 11, kick-off 12:30
on TalkSport.
Hughes and Croft here with you on TalkSport tonight in North London for a massive night of live football across the TalkSport network. You're listening to Europa League Live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whether you're on holiday, at home or away this summer, Enterprise has locations all over Europe and a vehicle that's just right for you. Spurs keep up the hunt for a first trophy in 17 years against Bodo Glimt. on the new and improved Talk Sport app, so make sure you check that out. Aside from all of our live commentaries, loads of great video content from all of our programs and all the stuff we get out and about as well, boxing, darts and the like, so make sure you do check it out. Great evening here in terms of the weather, in terms of the atmosphere, just hoping that Tottenham can deliver for their home fans. A big evening for Ange Postecoglou and his players make their way out of the tunnel here. James Maddison points both hands up to the sky, dribbles with the ball at his feet as well. Hopefully a spring in the step of a few of their players as well. Religious moment for Pedro Porro, Richarlison, Romero as well. So there you go. Hopefully those prayers are answered for them tonight. Remember, here on TalkSport we'll have Manchester United, who head to Athletic Bilbao, also looking to save their season. The procession likely to continue for Chelsea. They host Djurgårdens in the Conference League. We'll have live updates of that game, and there's live Premier League action for you on TalkSport 2. Nottingham Forest facing Brentford, hoping to go third in the table. So ahead of all of that, let's get the latest odds with Ladbrokes.
Odds update on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Get money back as a free bet up to £10 if one leg of your Football 5+ acca lets you down. Pre-match straight line accas only. Odds are 3-1 or greater. 18+ gambler.org.
Good evening, Cal. Let's start with the City Ground tonight, where only one result
against
will
Manchester
do for Nuno
United. Full
Espirito
commentary on
Santo's
5 Sports
side.
Extra.
Are they favourites to get it
Tottenham
done?
Hotspur against Norway's fairy tale team, Bodo Glimt. I'm going to be the first person to say this tonight. I will not be the last person to say this tonight. You can fit the entire population of the town of Bodo into the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium and you would still have 20,000 empty seats left over. And I'm sorry, Ali Bruce Ball, if that's me stealing your thunder.
No, you're not at all. I was going to say, Steve, it's their fans who catch the eye inside the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at the moment. So obviously the Tottenham fans will seriously outnumber them once the stadium is full come kick-off, but it's white shirts sort of dotted around a lot of the stadium and just this huge L-shaped block of bright yellow. You say Bodo Glimt, I was going to say Bodo Glimt. I think the locals say Buda Glimt. But however you say it, Steve, this club and these fans will want Tottenham to remember their name after this semi-final, and Tottenham, and I think they'll know this, Ange Postecoglou will know this, they would be very wise not to underestimate them. They've knocked Olympiacos and Lazio out in the last couple of rounds, have a seriously impressive home record. That's where Tottenham are going next week, north of the Arctic Circle. This is really important. We know that, Steve, in terms of Tottenham's season, but I think this first leg in particular, because Bodo Glimt, the visitors, are missing some key players for this one.
Rob Green is alongside Ali. I've done really well there, Rob. I've actually been speaking to Ali all day about that pronunciation, and yet I still managed to find a way to get it wrong.
Well, it's unique, that's it, and it's a unique club, and it's been an amazing story for them. So they're up for this. They're here in force. If you're talking percentage of numbers of the town itself, there are a massive percentage of them in the stadium already.
There is a long list, Rob, of big European names who have looked at Bodo Glimt and probably thought we should be fine here. Tottenham just cannot afford to be one of them.
No, and you're looking at tonight, as Ali said, the numbers that they've got out, but their home form is so impressive. And as a player, you go to such strange scenarios, and it's not going to be hostile there. It's not going to be somewhere where you're thinking European away tie and it's a really fervent atmosphere. It's going to be a friendly one. It's going to be a nice one. It's just going to be so, literally so foreign and so alien.
I think you'd be very, very foolish, especially the season that Tottenham have had as well, and they've been shipping goals for fun. So, listen, it's not a given, this game, not a given.
I think, Rob, what I'm trying to get at is everyone is going to say, well, we're not taking them lightly. Is it easy to do that, though, when you look at the opposition and you know, God, we should really do this? All right, they're an overachieving team. They're still a tiny club, and there is a final in a European competition at stake.
I think there's a level in there that turns into disrespect, and I don't think that's going to happen tonight. I think that Tottenham are going to go about this the way that their season's gone, the manner of the season's gone, the way they had to work against Eintracht Frankfurt to get here as well. It was such a rarity. I mean, it was once in a blue moon they get a clean sheet at the minute, and away to them that they got it. And so they don't want to throw that away, because it's going to be a pretty dull end to the season and a pretty poisonous one if they do manage to throw this away. So I think it's going to keep any form of momentum. This tournament has kept that for them. It's one of those things that you kind of get thrown at you as a kid, or as a sort of a real hypothetical question. Would you take 17th in the league for a cup final? Well, Spurs, it's very, very real for them now. They've just got to uphold the other side of the bargain right now.
Right, so the teams they've beaten in the Europa League this season: Karabag, Ferencvaros, AZ Alkmaar, Hoffenheim, Elfsborg and Frankfurt, to get to this semi-final against Bodo Glimt. Let's hear from Ange Postecoglou, who doesn't think his side is getting enough credit for their European run.
People are almost trying to diminish it in some respects. You know, I've heard people say, well, it's the equivalent of Man United winning the FA Cup. No, it ain't. I'm sorry. Not on any planet is it the equivalent. Others suggesting that maybe we're not worthy of, Champions League. I mean, again, they're like things that are there, designed there to diminish what's ahead of us, which is an unbelievable opportunity. Like I said, irrespective of how this season's gone, we have generations of fans who want this more than anything else, to share again with the people that they love a special moment supporting their football club. This season could have gone a lot differently and we could be flying in the league, but it wouldn't make this opportunity any different. The opportunity is the same. What we have before us is, a semi-final of a European competition with an opportunity to get to a final, win a trophy and Champions League football. I just think, for the players and everyone involved at the football club, it's a brilliant opportunity.
Andros, is that the Tottenham manager kind of, as he has done before, sort of trying to build a bit of an us against the world narrative? Doesn't necessarily mean he's wrong, but is that what he's doing?
Yeah, and I think it sort of is at the moment. As someone who I grew up supporting Spurs, I've got loads of Spurs fans as friends, family. The one thing that always comes back to Spurs fans is, what have you won? You've won nothing. Yes, you got to the final of Champions League, you didn't win it. You got second in the Premier League, you didn't win it. So who cares? If they win the Europa League, beating Bodo Glimt or whoever else you said, Karabag, who gives a damn? Tottenham need to win a trophy. Did I get away with that one?
No, you were fine, yeah.
Tottenham need to win a trophy.
Yes, Ali.
I'd be interested to know what Andros makes of the Tottenham team tonight. I've not given you that yet. Let me rattle through that very quickly for you. Lucas Bergvall not involved this evening, not even on the bench. I think the one that really catches the eye in the starting lineup is Richarlison. Kulusevski and Matthias Tell on the bench, so it's 6 changes from the 5-1 drubbing they received at the hands of Liverpool at the weekend. Goalkeeper and back four, no surprises there. Vicario, Porro, Romero, Van der Ven and Udogie. Yves Bissouma starts. Now, he's only started 3 of the previous 10. Rodrigo Bentancur comes back in. James Maddison starts, looks like in the 10 role. And then I guess it's going to be Richarlison left, Johnson right, and Solanke through the middle, Andros.
Yeah, I think Richarlison, even though he doesn't score goals, he offers so much energy, and Spurs have been lacking that of late, that energy up front, that selflessness to run and close people down and win the ball back and get the fans behind the team. So I get that one. I don't know if Bergvall's injured or what, but he was pretty poor. He's been very good of late, but he was pretty poor on the weekend against Liverpool, I think it was, they played. So I understand that one. Probably would have put Kulusevski in there, maybe instead of Brennan Johnson, but other than that, it's a pretty straightforward team.
I think, Rob, when you look at that team on paper, Ange Postecoglou has said time and time again, the issues are the injuries. I know that is long since behind them, but it does feel particularly pertinent when you look at that 11. It is a very strong 11.
Well, and it's an attacking 11 as well. You've got the 2 centre-halves and Bissouma and Bentancur in the middle, and the rest can go for it. You're looking at a side that you're saying, how are we going to score? Well, they've kind of hit a bit of a wall recently. It feels like that the runners off the ball, as Andros was saying, aren't quite there. The patterns of play haven't been there. Maybe the confidence has waned in an attacking sense as well as a defensive one. I think they know the frailties. I think they know that that's set in the defence, and they've got one answer to that: go and score more.
So we'll be back with Rob Green and Ali Bruce Ball at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, bit closer to kick-off. So Spurs versus Bodo Glimt, 5 Sports Extra, Athletic Bilbao and Manchester United here on 5 Live. We'll come back to the football shortly. Loads of live sport going on this evening. We've got the semi-finals of the World Snooker Championship in Sheffield. You can watch that on BBC Two right now. Jamie Broughton has the latest from the Crucible.
Evening, Steve. Ronnie O'Sullivan finished tied at 4 frames all with Zhao Jingtong after the opening session of play in their semi-final. But the big news came after the session as the 7-time world champion decided to get a new tip and a new brass ferrule put on his cue. And he'll be practicing with the cue tonight to get used to those changes. This evening, Judd Trump has just started his semi-final against Mark Williams. 17 is the target for victory. Meanwhile, Barry Hearn, the president of Matchroom Sport, has told 5 Live he's a little bit more hopeful that the tournament could stay in Sheffield beyond 2027 when the current deal to host it ends. But he insists the decision still comes down to money and increasing what the players can earn. Hearn has been holding talks today with Sheffield City Council.
Our heart is here, our life is here, the history is here. We've just got to find that additional bit of assistance, which hopefully is going to be government-led, in terms of we need to keep our events in this country, and Sheffield is the ideal home for snooker. I'm a little bit more hopeful today, after meeting Sheffield Council, that the positivity that I saw and the enthusiasm makes me think that there's more than enough chance that we can stay here.
Is that because the government's getting involved, is it?
No, I'm not going to tread on anyone's toes on that, but any help from any source is always appreciated.
Barry Hearn there, Steve, and he'll meet Sheffield City Council in 3 months' time for further talks, but he's made it very clear that a decision on the future of the Crucible has to be made by the end of the year.
Jamie, thank you very much indeed. We'll be back with the live football shortly. First, as of next month, transgender women will no longer be able to play in women's football in England. That's after a ruling from the Football Association today. The FA actually only amended their existing rules on this subject last month. But following that recent UK Supreme Court ruling that a woman is defined by biological sex, the governing body have now scrapped their existing policy. Let's speak to our sports news correspondent, Andy Swiss. Andy, what have the FA said?
Well, as you say, this represents a hefty change in policy from the FA, because only last month they announced they would continue to allow transgender women to play in women's football in England as long as they showed low enough testosterone levels and were assessed by a match observer to check that they were not a risk to the safety of other players. Now, what the FA say in their statement is that as the governing body of the national sport, their role is to make football accessible to as many people as possible. And their existing policy, which allows transgender women to participate in the women's game at the moment, was based on that principle and supported by legal advice. But they go on to say that this is a complex subject, and our position has always been that if there was a material change in law, science, or the operation of the policy in grassroots football, then we would review it and change it if necessary. And then they say that the Supreme Court's ruling on the 16th of April means that they will be changing their policy. And essentially, the FA feels it had no choice but to amend its approach because its lawyers concluded that the Supreme Court ruling left it vulnerable to potential legal claims from some biologically female players. But it does represent a dramatic change in position in just a few weeks.
It's a very emotional topic, this, for a lot of people. It's a very polarising topic as well for a lot of people. What has the reaction been?
Yes, and as you can imagine, the reaction to this has been pretty polarised. Some have welcomed the FA's change of policy. The campaign group Women's Rights Network said they were pleased the FA has finally seen the light, but said in their words, it shouldn't have been such a hard fight to get here. The former Olympic swimmer Sharon Davis, who's been vocal on the issue of transgender women in women's sport, described it as great news for the safety and fairness of all our girls and women in football. A spokesman for the Prime Minister, when he was asked what Sir Keir Starmer thought of transgender women being banned from women's sport, said the government had been clear that biology matters when it comes to women's sport and that everyone should be compliant with the law. But others have been highly critical. Natalie Washington, the campaign lead for Football versus Transphobia, said transgender women are now likely to give up football. She said the people I know that are talking about this are saying, well, that's it for football for me. While the anti-discrimination group Kick It Out said now is the time to show solidarity with the trans community and remind ourselves that football brings people together and is often a space for belonging, connection and joy. Transphobic abuse on the pitch, in the stands and online is real and rising.
It goes without saying that the Football Association is a really big institution. Do we know whether governing bodies in other sports are likely to follow suit now?
Well, as well as the English FA, the Scottish FA have today announced that they're changing their policy. They've said only biological females will be permitted to play in competitive girls and women's football, which is governed by the Scottish FA from the start of next season. And away from football, England Netball have announced that they have changed their guidelines. They say from the start of September, the female category will exclusively be for players born female, irrespective of their gender identity. They will have a mixed netball participation category, which they say will serve as the sport's inclusive category and allow players to compete under the gender with which they identify. Meanwhile, the England and Wales Cricket Board are having a board meeting tomorrow where they're expected to follow the FA's lead and ban transgender women from all levels of the women's game. So as time goes on, it seems more and more sports are changing their approach on this.
OK, that's our sports news correspondent, Andy Swiss. Some other sports stories for you. British number one Jack Draper is through to the semi-finals of the Madrid Open after beating Matteo Arnaldi in straight sets. That win means that he'll move into the world's top 5 on Monday. He'll actually be ahead of Novak Djokovic. After being sacked by West Ham earlier this season, Julen Lopetegui's been appointed head coach of the Qatar national team. And the new England women's cricket head coach, Charlotte Edwards, says they have to make the most of next year's home T20 World Cup. It's been announced that Lords will host the final on Sunday, July the 5th. Next year. Let's take you back to tonight's football. We'll be back in Bilbao shortly. Athletic Bilbao versus Manchester United, Europa League semi-final, first leg, live on 5 Live. 5 Sports Extra is Tottenham Hotspur against Bodo Glimt of Norway. Bodo's supporters cannot wait to show the world what their club and their home ground mean to them.
It's hard to explain. The whole stadium is dressed in yellow. Everybody has their scarves. Everybody is singing.
We just have this confidence and we use the weather and the cold and everything to our advantage.
When Jose Mourinho came here and lost 6-1, he said that it's because of the artificial surface and it's because of bad weather. That's all excuses. They lose because Glimt is a magnificent football team. 8 years ago we played in the 2nd division in Norway. Since then it has been unreal. We never experienced anything like it.
To get the opportunity to follow my childhood team in Europe, it's like a FIFA fantasy, it's like Championship Manager.
I just feel lucky to be alive at a time when my club performs like the club is doing.
13, 14 years ago, we didn't have a kit manager even. We came to the dressing room already dressed and we went home and we washed our own clothes. To compare it, what it is today, is ridiculous.
Lots of Bodo Glimt supporters, and on the end there, their sporting director, Havard Sakarasen. So we've got Andros Townsend, Phil Jones with us in studio. These are the sounds of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Ali Bruce Ball and Rob Green are there. Let's get a bit more then on Bodo Glimt. We can speak live to Mats Arntzen from VG Sporten in Norway. Mats, good evening. What a night for Bodo Glimt.
Yeah, what a night. It's quite surrealistic to be here, really. What a stadium. And as you said earlier, we can't even fill the whole stadium with people from Bodø. So, yeah, it's weird to be here.
From what I can hear, it feels like you brought most of them with you anyway.
Yeah, I followed them up the street before we had a live there, and it's so fun to see all the yellow shirts. And the color helps as well to fill up the street. So, hope you're impressed.
Oh, I mean, I think we're all impressed with Bodo Glimt. They're such a great story. Take us back to 2017 then, when Bodo Glimt weren't even in the top flight in Norway. How have they got here?
No, that's it's just an adventure. It's the way they did it as well. They've started with a plan, a clear philosophy to play attacking football in their own way, working every day. And you all often hear these cliches that we take one day by the other, and we just focus on one day at a time. But they've done it to the extreme level. So I started to follow them in 2020 more closely, and they broke every record 3 years after being in the second tier. So an unbelievable journey.
We've got to talk about the manager. I mean, we could ask you about their best players and everything, but it is Kjetil Knutsen, isn't it? It is all about him when it comes to Bodo Glimt. He's been there since 2018. He knows them inside out. How have they managed to hold on to him out of interest?
Now he must be crazy, turning down so many offers, I think. But he's a special guy, a former teacher who has been doing very well as a coach, and he's a late bloomer as a coach as well. But I think doing something special with this project, I think he valued that over going to, for example, Ajax or Norwich or some Scottish teams that tried. There's been some teams from the US. I don't know. I would have left, but he's still there, and I think Bodø Glimt are thankful.
What's been the biggest surprise to you, Mats, that Bodø Glimt have got to the semi-final, or they've got there playing such an attractive football and playing against some of the biggest names in European football and controlling large parts of the games and playing well and playing a modern style of football on a shoestring budget compared to those teams?
Yeah, well, it's a combination, isn't it? We had some success with Norwegian football in the 90s, but that was the straight opposite. We put everyone in defense, kicked the ball as long as we could, and then we hope for the best. And now we have a team that plays out, even if they meet Tottenham or Manchester United or in Rome. We never had this football in this way. They remind a bit of Rosenborg with Nils Arne Eggen, who was also a really attacking team, but this is next level. And Knutsen's role model is Nils Arne Eggen, so it's maybe not a coincidence.
You'll obviously miss, I think it's Evgen you pronounce his name, the number 8, but for me it's the number 6, Patrick Berg. How much will you miss him tonight, playing through him in the 6?
A lot. He's a great player, and if you ask someone from the Norwegian top tier who's the best player, I think over 50% will say Patrick Berg, maybe more. So he's a great player. The way he has ability to always get to the ball everywhere. It's suddenly he appears, just steals the ball, even though he's not that big. He's there and he wins so many balls, and he's also good on the ball. He's a leader. He's a big part of this culture. His father played for Bodø Glimt. His grandfather played. He's a big legend for this club. So that he'll miss out on this game for a stupid yellow card in Rome that never should have been given. It's ridiculous.
Mats, before we let you go, I just want to ask you about Aspmyra, the stadium, Bodø Glimt Stadium, where Spurs will go for the second leg. A lot of talk about what is a good result for Tottenham tonight. Like, would a 1-goal win even be that good, given what they've got to face in Norway?
I wouldn't be happy if I were a Tottenham supporter going to that pitch with a 1-0 goal. And there's a lot of talk about the artificial pitch. You can prepare as much as you want, but it is another sport. It's different. I know that you will talk about weather and blah, blah, blah. That's just a big lie. There will be 10 degrees, perfect, windy weather, maybe some rain. You should have 2-3 goals here, I think. If not, I will give Bodø Glimt a very big chance to go through, and that will be... I don't know what I'll do then. That will be crazy.
Mats, thank you very much for talking to us, and enjoy the game. Cheers.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Mats Arntzen from VG Sporten in Norway. Tottenham versus Bodø Glimt. Full commentary, 5 Sports Extra, just over 10 minutes from kick-off. What about tonight's game in the Premier League? Nottingham Forest, Brentford. Chris Calls.
18 minutes in, Forest 0, Brentford 0. Brentford have made the more eye-catching start. 2 excellent chances early on. Sharda's downward header. Murillo hacked behind. Norgard header nearly squirming through a scrum of players. And Sepp Vandenberg moments ago. A header brilliantly saved by Matt Sells. Forest up against it. 0-0 with Brentford.
Chris, thank you very much indeed. Right, let's take you back to San Mamés. As we've been telling you, it'll be where the Europa League final is held. So Athletic Bilbao trying to get through to a final at their own historic stadium. Let's speak to journalist Aitor Martinez, who's live with us. Aitor, what a huge night this is for Athletic Bilbao.
Hello. I can't hear you so well because the cheer is very loud, but you hear in the radio, so the ambience is really amazing today in Bilbao. It's a festivity day also in the city, and let's see what happens in the match.
I can tell, Aitor, just from your first name, that you yourself are Basque. So just tell us what this all means to the team and also to the region, to somewhere which has to recruit players locally to be in this massive position on the world stage.
It's like something crazy. I don't know if that's okay. It's something crazy, like to play with people of 100 kilometers in around to be in the semi-finals of the Europe League. Athletic is an historical club. We have played against you 2 more times in the past years, and you see here, you can see, but you hear, it's a big day. People is getting crazy, and we hope to do something special, more special than being in the semi-final with our local team, with people from the Basque Country. Now we have people who was born outside the Basque Country, but they were like Álvaro Yaló, who born in Madrid, but he's Basque. He came here with 2 years old.
Aitor, how much has this team changed from the one that played United 10, 15 years ago? That side was more of a tiki-taka, whereas watching Athletic now, it's more direct, more get the ball out wide and let the wide players use their pace.
It's more British right now, I think. More as you can, more at what Athletic has been in all his history. With Marcelo Bielsa was, you said, tiki-taka, a lot of pressure, one-to-one defending, and now it's yes, the British game. It has some tiki-taka, but also playing long and directly, and a good defense. It's the best defense in La Liga and one of the best ones in Europe.
Aitor, what will be a good result for Athletic tonight?
Not losing, I think it's a good result. But
do you think that'll be enough?
I don't like saying. Sorry?
Do you think that'll be enough, getting a draw, taking that back to Old Trafford, or do you think you need some sort of lead?
I don't know. I don't like saying any just exact result, but if you don't lose here, you go to Manchester to play a final. So I think that neither one team wins 2-0 or 0-2 if Manchester wins. Either in that case, the Manchester match will be a final. So not losing, it's okay for me, I think.
Aitor, how much of a loss will Santet, the fact that he's not playing tonight, the leading scorer not playing, and might not be fit for next week's return leg as well? That's a huge blow.
It's a big problem, the injury of Santet, and we don't know if he's going to be able to play in Manchester next week. Hope so, but I think he won't.
And Aitor, just give us one on the Williams boys. Iñaki Williams, Nico Williams, playing in the same team, right and left. They are this Athletic Bilbao team's greatest weapons now, aren't they?
Oh, that's something not usual to have two family members playing in the same team. Hope it's for long, because Nico has been tempted by so many teams, PSG, Barcelona. So hope they are in the same team for many years.
Aitor,
he's got to go, Steve.
Yeah. Thank you, Aitor.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it. Aitor Martinez.
Bye.
Joining us live there. Goodbye. Just Paul, Ian, from you two. I'm really getting through the airwaves here why they call that place the Cathedral.
Oh, Steve, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean, we do get treated to some pre-match entertainment, but it's been in the city the whole day. I mean, there's red and white shirts littering the streets everywhere from morning all afternoon, and the atmosphere's just been building, and walking to the stadium was an experience in itself. Inside the stadium, the flags, the tifos, the stadium's full, it's packed. Manchester United fans are just filling their section away to our right, up in the top right-hand corner. But there's a real expectancy. And do you know what? It's a really nice atmosphere. It felt a really nice place to walk around today, coming to the stadium. No intimidation, but the atmosphere, the noise inside the stadium already it's fantastic. It's a spectacle, it really is.
Andros, you're the perfect person to ask from your position about Nico Williams, who's still only 22, by the way.
Yeah, such a special player, and it's a joy to watch a winger be a winger and not a number 10 and a creative player. Somebody who gets on the ball is always looking to be direct and take on his man, and he's been a joy to watch this season and in the Euros last summer as well.
Next to Lamine Yamal, though, Phil, he's positively experienced, isn't he?
He's incredible. I couldn't believe what I was watching last night, watching Lamine Yamal. I mean, to win what he's won at 17 years old, and we're going off topic here, but I thought Incredible, absolutely incredible.
And I think it's right, actually, Paul, to mention him in the context of Nico Williams, because obviously Spain have got incredible talent in the wide areas, but those two are becoming the real poster boys, aren't they?
Yeah, Nico Williams is a really special talent, obviously playing on the same team as his brother as well. I mean, so you get distracted by this atmosphere inside the stadium, Steve. There's a red and white, every single person's holding up a red and white card. If you can get the pictures of this, it really is something special. But yeah, Nico Williams had an exceptional season, and I think he's, 22 years old. He's only going to get better. 11 goals, 7 assists, 12 and 5 in the Europa League. He's an integral part of this Bilbao side, and like Andros said, they are a lot more direct this season, but they play with pace, tempo, they press high, and the two Williams brothers in the wide areas have been key to a lot of their success.
We'll be joining your commentary team then and letting them crack on with it in just a second. One more before we do, Phil, on Harry Maguire and his importance tonight. His goal-scoring importance has been really key, and we saw it against Lyon as well. Heart of that back three, massively important.
Absolutely delight for him. What a player, what a human being as well. He's a brilliant guy. He's been massive for United. He's come under a lot of criticism, unfair in my opinion. He's a leader, he's a warrior. And you need players like that. You need your big players in games like tonight. He's a big game player.
Right, loads more to come throughout the night from Phil Jones and from Andros Townsend. Remember, 5 Sports Extra, you will get full commentary of Tottenham Hotspur versus Bodo Glimt in their Europa League semi-final first leg. In the Premier League, it's still Nottingham Forest 0, Brentford 0. We'll also keep you up to date with the Conference League semi-final first leg in Stockholm, Djurgården versus Chelsea. Here on 5 Live, we're all about the Cathedral of San Mamés, Athletic Bilbao, Manchester United, Paul Robinson and Ian Dennis.
Thank you, Steve. I've got to say there is a cacophony of noise inside the cathedral here tonight. They just played the anthem whilst you were talking, and its key characteristics of what Bilbao are about. Grit, guts, perseverance, as now they unveil, amidst the red and white flags and the scarves that are being swirled around their heads, Athletic Club with white letters on a grey background, and on the far side, unique in the world since 1898. They only select players from the Basque region. They are fiercely proud of their heritage, and when you put that into some context, this is only their 3rd European semi-final, and the final will be held here on May the 21st. It is a special atmosphere, and I'm almost thinking how special it would be if they could play in the final in a few weeks' time.
Well, you can see what it means to every single member of the community of the city here today. It's not a huge place, Bilbao, but the streets were lined today. Red and white shirts everywhere. The anticipation of this game, it's been coming for a long time, and as you say, they only select players from the Basque region, a very small region, and to compete on the level that they have done, especially in the Europa League this season. Their form's been nothing short of phenomenal at home, and we're getting a little glimpse now of seeing it's not an intimidating atmosphere, it's a special atmosphere, it really is.
It's the 7th largest stadium in Spain. 53,331 is the capacity here. 2-tiered, bowl-like arena on the banks of the river, right in the heart of this beautiful city. Manchester United supporters are high up away towards our right. There's around 2,600, which was the allocation. We'll struggle to hear them this evening, as these are the two teams. Aguirre Bafala is in goal. De Marcos, Yere, Vivian, Buchiche, that's the defence. Jaureguiza, De Galarreta in the midfield. Berenguer will play central. Inaki Williams to the right, Nico Williams to the left, and Sonadi will lead the line. So they've made 2 changes from the team that knocked out Rangers, with Buchiche coming in at left back, but then Santhet is a loss, their leading scorer. And like Aitor was saying, I don't think he'll be fit for the return leg at Old Trafford next week. Manchester United have made 2 changes from the team that drew at Bournemouth at the weekend. Ugarte comes into the midfield for Mainu, Lindelof for Shaw. Manchester United in their royal blue shirts and grey shorts against Athletic Bilbao in their red and white striped shirts and black shorts. United then Onana in goal. A back three of Euro, Maguire and Lindelof, Mazraoui, Dorgu, Ugarte, Casemiro, Fernandes, Garnacho and Højlund. As now there will be a period of silence in memory of His Holiness Pope Francis, where it says on the screen in the corner of the stadium here, a man of justice and peace. So UEFA paying its respect to Pope Francis as everybody stands here in Bilbao. Well, that wasn't observed at all by a section of support here in Bilbao. They kept on beating the drum, they kept on singing. As now Athletic Bilbao's players form a huddle, as do Manchester United. And the noise inside Estadio de San Mamés is ramped up even more as the flags continue to fly.
It's going to be a huge ask for Manchester United tonight. They've been excellent in Europe this season, as we know. They're the unbeaten team in Europe, but this is their biggest test by a long way. They've performed well, they've gone to some very difficult places, performed excellently. I thought away at Lyon, they probably deserved to come back to Manchester United, to Old Trafford with a lead. They didn't, but they dug out a result somehow. Away performances in this system has worked for Manchester United, but they're playing against an extremely well-organised, defensively solid side tonight in an incredible stadium.
And Ruben Amorim was saying that they will be aggressive, they will play with an intensity, and Manchester United have got to try and silence this crowd, because it is deafening as we sit high at the back of the main stand, almost close to the roof. We're that far back as Manchester United get us underway. Choice of listening, BBC Radio 5 Live on the BBC Sounds app as well tonight. Extra in North London, you can listen to Tottenham Hotspur against Bodo Glimt, and here on 5 Live in northern Spain, live inside the stadium, Athletic Bilbao against Manchester United. And straight away, Athletic Bilbao put the ball forward, and it goes out of play for a Manchester United throw that Dorgu is going to take. But as Paul Robinson says, Manchester United, not just the only unbeaten side in the Europa League, the only unbeaten side in European competition, but Athletic Bilbao have a 100% winning record at home in the Europa League this season, winning all 6 games. Zanardi, big, powerful striker, loses the ball though, just inside the Manchester United half, and then Dorgu goes back to Lindelof.
I think they will miss Sandsted tonight. Athletic Bilbao has been their main striker. Zanardi comes in, he's a big, imposing figure of a man, 6'2", 6'3", playing up against Harry Maguire, the Williams brothers either side of him in the wide areas.
Berenguer looked for the ball out to Nico Williams. He's playing central. They lost it. They've got it back. Berenguer wants out now to that far side. Cross comes in from the left. And then it was almost falling to Jauregui. Started strongly though, Athletic Bilbao. Here is Nico Williams. Left-hand side, delivers the cross. And Dorgu didn't know where Inaki Williams was. And it's bounced off his thigh and gone behind for a corner.
Listen at the noise level, and that's just for a corner. Athletic Bilbao started really sharply. One of the centre-halves was high up in the Manchester United half pressing. Nico Williams on the left-hand side, he loops the ball up, he kind of flicks it to the back post, looking for his brother. There was no communication between Onana and Dorgu. In the end, Dorgu puts it out for a corner.
Corner kick on this near side that Nico Williams is going to take the right-footed, headed out by Maguire. Down into the ground by De Galarreta, and that bouncing ball gathered in by Onana. And Onana will just wait and hang on to the ball, and they'll hope for an error-free performance from the much-maligned goalkeeper tonight.
I think they'll be looking for an error-free performance throughout the side. And I've watched a lot of Manchester United this season, especially away in Europe. And I liken the atmosphere inside here to the one at Fenerbahce. And I thought they were excellent against Jose Mourinho's side over in Istanbul. That was a really intimidating, loud atmosphere. But they controlled possession in the first half and they quietened the crowd. And that's something similar that they've got to do this evening.
We saw how they struggled with the press against Bournemouth at the weekend. And Athletic Bilbao are already looking to try and match that as Sonati drifts out to this near side, the right, drops back a little bit. The Galarreta will pass the ball to Sonati, then he gives it away. The Garnacho comes under pressure immediately as there's been an early goal at Tottenham. Alistair Bruce ball.
Well ahead of them. What a start for Tottenham. Brennan Johnson scores within 40 seconds. Porro's crossing from the right, found Richarlison at the far post, headed it back across goal, and Johnson guides his header beautifully into the far corner. Tottenham lead within a minute. Tottenham 1, Bodo Glimt 0.
So Spurs are ahead. Alistair Bruce Ball and Rob Green providing commentary on Sports Extra. 0-0 here, 3.5 minutes played, BBC Radio 5 Live. So the Manchester United side with Onana, Yoro, Maguire, Lindelof, Dorgu, Matsraoui, Ugarte, Casemiro, Garnacho, Fernandes and Højlund. And in those navy blue shirts, they try and keep the ball in play on the far side, but it will be an Athletic Bilbao free kick on the left. Paul Robinson.
Those are the noises that the Manchester United players and fans want to be hearing, the boos and the whistles. That tells you that Manchester United are in possession and Athletic Bilbao are having to chase, close down and try and get the ball back.
Ball towards Garnacho. Garnacho inside the penalty area. Garnacho scores, the flag's up. Celebrations are cut short immediately. VAR will naturally have a look at that. But the flag went up very, very quickly.
Assistant on the far side did put his flag up quickly. I think it was a ball through by Højlund. Turnover of possession again. Manchester United closing high up the pitch. Casemiro wins it back. It's a beautiful touch by Bruno Fernandes. And he's played in by... Is it Bruno Fernandes plays Garnacho in? And it's going to be very tight. It's a wonderful finish by the youngster. One-on-one with the goalkeeper. Bounces it into the far bottom right-hand corner. But it is going to be a close call. VAR are checking. But good early signs from Manchester United. Pressing high in the Bilbao half. Winning the ball back. And on that turnover possession, the ball in behind quick. I think this is going to be close. I've only seen the replay once. This is going to be a very, very close call.
I've got to say, my natural reaction was he was just offside, but the fact that they're taking so long...
I think there was a defender in the middle of him. There was one central defender. When you saw the initial replay and then it widened out, there's another Athletic Bilbao player in the middle of the pitch that might just have played Garnacho on. There's a good chance that this goal may stand. It's going to be very close. As you know, the longer we go, unfortunately, by the rule for Manchester United, you can guess what's happened.
Yeah, the goal doesn't stand. It remains 0-0, and Yere clears the ball away long downfield. Then a free kick. Sonati on Dorgu, and it'll be a free kick to Manchester United. That would have been the perfect start too, wouldn't it?
It's been a great start to the game, hasn't it? It's been a really, really good start. You can feel this one bubbling under already. Athletic Bilbao pressing high. You can see their intent in the wide areas. But Manchester United have had one or two spells of possession with intent as well. Garnacho getting in behind there, getting the goal. And they've done that away this season in Europe, Manchester United.
Maguire goes to take the free kick, then leaves it for Onana, so the whistles of derision are for the time-wasting tactics from Manchester United. And then Onana picks up the ball, bounces it a couple of times, just to fuel the frustration of the Bilbao supporters. It goes long by Onana. Dorgu is forward. Højlund also rises. Yere volleys the ball away. Sonati can't get there. And then Lindelof just touches it towards Maguire, who's the central figure of that back three. Bruno Fernandes, the captain. Yoro now, who plays on the left of that three. Fernandes quickly closed down by Oscar de Marcos. And then they lose the ball. And this is Berenguer. And Berenguer steadies himself and shoots. And Onana has to make the save. Low down to his right, two-handed, turns it behind for a corner kick.
Acres of space there, Berenguer. Striding out the middle of midfield. Nobody went to close him down. The Manchester United back three backed off and backed off. Turnover of possession. They were quick again, Athletic Bilbao. Berenguer gets himself 25 yards from goal, hits a good strike low to Onana's right-hand corner. Goalkeeper does well to get round and turn it round.
Vivian and Yere are forward from the back. In comes the corner. And it goes behind from Bruno Fernandes, who was saying he was being fouled by Sonati, who they signed in the January transfer window from Alaves. He's only made 60. This is his 16th appearance. Corner's taken short and quickly, and then it comes in from the header at the far post, and it was just off target. It was an opportunity to get up from the back. I think it might have been Bachiche who headed it wide, 6 yards out from goal. Goal kick 0-0.
That was a good save by Andrea Onana from Berenguer. Left-footed strike low into the goalkeeper's bottom right-hand corner. Stayed a good distance from his line. One step to his right, two-handed round the corner. That'll do his confidence the world of good, Onana.
Dorgu forward on this near side, the Manchester United left. Cleared away by Vivian, the central defender. Picked back up by Ugarte. Dorgu now to Lindelof, one of two changes that Ruben Amorim made at the weekend after that draw against Bournemouth on the south coast. They will actually stay in Spain and train here tomorrow with the game against Brentford at the weekend. That was poorly given away. Then they win it back through Mazraoui, who redeems himself after his initial error. Bruno Fernandes hits it early in the centre circle. Garnacho latches onto it. Garnacho into the penalty area. Checks back, but then just shows too much of the ball to Yere. Picked up by Mazraoui. Right corner of the area, 0-0. 8.5 minutes played. Can't squeeze the ball to the edge of the area, and it will be cleared away by Bachiche. Up it goes towards Sanade. Holds it up. Goes to ground. And gets a free kick for his efforts too from that foul by Maguire. Free kick to Athletic Bilbao.
That was a wonderful ball by Bruno Fernandes. You could see his initial thoughts straight away. They've got the pace of Garnacho on that right-hand side at the moment, in behind Berachiche. One touch from Bruno Fernandes inside the centre circle, in behind the left full-back. Garnacho was onto it quick as a flash, and that's something that Manchester United will use tonight on the turnover of possession. Here in the midfield is Berenguer. Out towards Oscar de Marcos, who scored actually in both legs when they last played in 2012. Inaki Williams with the cross from the right-hand side, in low, gathered at his near post by Onana. We checked in yesterday. I was asking one of the receptionists about the pronunciations of certain players, notably Mikel Jauregui in the midfield. Turns out that it was actually his brother I was speaking to, Asia. He said, "Oh, that's my brother Mikel," and I went, "Behave yourself." He showed me a picture of him and everything. So Jauregui in the midfield for what has been an excellent season, given away though by Manchester United at the back, and then Nico Williams runs into trouble with Casemiro. Casemiro loses out in the challenge in the midfield by Yere, who passes the ball out wide to Sanade. Sanade provides the width on the left and now runs at Lindelof, edge of the area. Plays the ball back. In comes the cross, and the header just over the top from Inaki Williams. And really, you're thinking he should have hit the target. That darting run in. He's got to score, hasn't he? He really has got to score. It's wonderful play on the left-hand side from Athletic Bilbao. Ball whipped into the box, 7 yards out. He's got a free header. Nobody anywhere near him. Glides into the Manchester United box between Euro and Maguire. Nobody picking him up, 7 yards out. Onana's trying to read the cross. He's going to his far post. If only he looks up, Inaki Williams. He's got an empty net. That's a really poor miss.
Berenguer with the cross. They're going to have to pick up the 29-year-old midfielder. Although they are missing Santa in the playmaker role, he normally plays on the right, does Berenguer. He's gone into that central area for Athletic. And he's already caused a couple of problems. He's forced that good save from Onana, and then that cross from which Inaki Williams with the head of that darting run put it wide. 0-0 it remains. Tottenham now are ahead in the other game. Choice of listening, remember, that is on Sports Extra. There's Lindelof at the back at a walking pace. Yoro. Inaki Williams goes towards him. The Williams brothers, the first brothers to actually play for the Athletic Club since the Salinas brothers back in 19X. And I think Nico has more or less hinted that if they are in the Champions League next season, he would like to stay with Athletic Bilbao, despite the interest of clubs such as Arsenal and Barcelona. Spurs are ahead in the other Europa League semi-final. There's now been a goal in the game in the Premier League. Chris Coles. unable to get to Chris at this stage. We'll try and re-establish the lines, but 12.5 minutes played. It is 0-0 here in the Europa League live on 5 Live.
Just seeing that replay again for that opportunity for Inaki Williams. Really was a free header, 7 yards from goal. He should score. If that's Sadadi, you think that would be 1-0 to Athletic Bilbao.
Marcos, fouled by Dorgu. Free kick from our referee, who is from Norway, in fact, Espen Eskars. We've got, though, a Danish fourth official, and then an Italian VAR, as Athletic Bilbao battle for the ball on the edge of the area. Manchester United to Ugarte, but he loses it in that central area. I thought that he'd fouled Haure Gita, but instead he releases Dorgu forward on this near side. He's bundled over. Referee's not letting a lot ride. No foul there, and play continues. We'll try again with Chris Colts.
Brentford in front, Ian. Forest 0, Brentford 1. Kevin Schade with it. Long ball straight through the heart of the Forest defence. Schade in front of Sells, finds the bottom corner. Forest 0, Brentford 1.
Chelsea are in action in the Conference League. There's been a goal, John Southall.
It's gone to Chelsea, Jurgen 0, Chelsea 1, perfect start for them. Jadon Sancho on the left of the 6-yard box took a big deflection, and in it went. Jurgen 0, Chelsea 1.
And Real Betis are leading Fiorentina by a goal to 0 in the other semi-final of the Conference League. The final is in Wrocław in Poland on the 28th of May. Paul Robinson.
We've seen a lot of gamesmanship already from Manchester United in the breaks of play. I think Harry Maguire's just taken a little bit of a knock, and as you can tell, the home supporters, they feel that he's elongating the situation longer rather than that's needed. Andre Onana, and an interesting tactic from Manchester United that we've seen tonight. Free kicks inside their own half. Onana's taken every one of them. They've put Casemiro forward alongside Højlund, and they've almost used them to slow the game down and go long as a direct tactic, and go obviously a lot longer. You know, we've seen Manchester United play out from the back along the 6-yard box and playing out, trying to break through the lines. But actually tonight they've got a free kick again now. Andre Onana level with his 18-yard box, and they've pushed players forward into an area of the pitch, and they're using this longer tactic.
Well, Onana then with the long clearance from that free kick, falls to the feet of Garnacho on that far side, the right, and he will win a throw off the legs of Nico Williams, who I'm sure you'll remember his man-of-the-match performance against England in the Euro final in Berlin, and indeed, of course, he scored that goal against England as well. He's having the best scoring season of his career. He's scored 11 plus 8 assists so far this season. You can see why the top clubs have been circling for his signature. But Spain, along with England, do have that extra place in the Champions League for next season. So a top 5 finish would mean Champions League qualification. They are currently 4th, and they're 6 points clear of Real Betis, so they are looking good for the Champions League next season. And if an English club was lucky enough to get drawn against Athletic Bilbao, I would recommend a visit to this beautiful city in northern Spain. Certainly the Manchester United fans have been enjoying the warm weather, as the ball is passed out towards that far side by Mazraoui. Had that early goal disallowed from Garnacho, and then they're just trying to slow the pace of the game down and try and quieten the atmosphere too.
This is what they've got to do, Manchester United. They're in comfortable possession inside their own half. Maguire, Euro and Lindelof recycling the ball around, trying to pull Athletic Bilbao out of position, keep possession, take the sting out of the game, and they've done this very well away in Europe this season.
Ball is touched short. Lindelof forward, back with Maguire just outside the D of the penalty area. Manchester United playing from right to left as we look. Ugarte will go square and out towards Lindelof, and then all of a sudden Nico Williams, and he's robbed Lindelof. Nico Williams now edge of the area, tried to play the ball in towards Senade, and luckily for Lindelof it was Casemiro who was able to cover and to save the day, because otherwise Athletic Bilbao are in.
Awful by Lindelof. That's one thing that Manchester United cannot afford, is individual errors. Victor Lindelof was so slow on the ball there. Nico Williams was quick, pounced on it, tried to play in Senade, but credit to Casemiro. He tracked the runner back and he managed to win the ball back for Manchester United in what was a dangerous position.
14 appearances he played against
Athletic Bilbao during his days for Real Madrid, as Euro then hammers it away on the edge of the area. Half-time now at the City Ground. Chris Coles.
Forest 0, Brentford 1. Brentford have been the breezier after their 12-day break. They deserve Sharda's goal just before half-time. Sells had earlier made an excellent save to deny Vandenberg's header. Forest yet to get going and yet to really work Mark Flecken. Forest 0, Brentford 1.
Well, that could be costly. Nottingham Forest 6th, 2 points behind Newcastle United. Very, very tight for Champions League qualification for a top 5 finish in the Premier League. We're also live on Radio Manchester this evening, our 5 live coverage. As it remains 0-0, 18 minutes played, and Hoyland in a foot chase loses out to Yere, who goes all the way back towards his goalkeeper, Aguirre Zavala. Now the ball is out towards Inaki Williams, and he races onto it, gets there, right-hand side, looks up, passes the ball, and then goal line clearance by Lindelof from Berenguer. Not too sure how much Lindelof knew about it, to be honest with you. It was a right-footed effort, and he was about a foot in front of the goal towards the left-hand post. It just struck his legs as he was side on, and Athletic Bilbao almost got their first goal.
Well, there's redemption right there for Victor Lindelof. He's just saved what was a certain goal. Scrappy defended again by Manchester United. Manchester United having problems when Mazraoui and Dorgu, the two fullbacks, push on. They leave the back three exposed to both the Williams brothers. That time it's a wonderful ball in behind to Nico Williams on the right-hand side. Cuts it back to Berenguer. It looks like an almost certain goal. First of all, Onana gets a half a block on it, and then it comes back out. Berenguer hits it, and it more inadvertently hits Lindelof rather than him blocking it. He gets the first block on it, Lindelof. Then the second shot comes in again, and he blocks it again. A double block by Lindelof. Redemption.
Berenguer with a little shake of the head. Onana continues to test the patience of the home support, taking his time with a free kick. 19 minutes played. Ball volleyed away downfield by De Galarreta, who's been a mainstay in this Europa League campaign. He's played in 11 of the previous 12 games. They did finish second in the league phase. 19 points, along with the leaders Lazio, who were eliminated in the previous round by Bodo Glimt, the first Norwegian club ever to reach a European semi-final. And in fact, we can get an update from Tottenham with Alistair Bruce-Ball.
Tottenham leading Bodo Glimt still by a goal to nil. 17 minutes in the first half. Dream start. The header from Brennan Johnson. Ange Postecoglou knows it's a tricky trip to Norway next week. He knows his team will need more. They are playing well this evening. They are such an enigma, Tottenham. At the moment, they lead by a goal to nil.
So that's Ali breaking off from his commentary duties on Sports Extra, where Spurs are ahead. Chelsea also lead. They're, of course, in Sweden. It remains 0-0 here in northern Spain, but Manchester United have a free kick about 10 yards forward of the centre circle in the central area.
And they're growing in confidence. You can see the longer this game goes now for Manchester United. We've just hit that 20-minute mark, the golden 20-minute mark, where everyone says in the dressing room, right, we'll keep it tight for 20 minutes, we'll stay solid. And they've grown into this game, Manchester United. From Athletic Bilbao's point of view, yes, they have broken Manchester United down on one or two occasions, but there's nothing that I've seen so much from them that would worry me from a Manchester United point of view. Manchester United are growing in confidence.
Well, this free kick that the captain Bruno Fernandes is going to take, it's right-footed. It's chipped towards the head of Maguire, who gets his head onto it, and eventually cleared away by Vivian, the Spanish international defender. But Maguire knocked to the ground, and a referee has said that it will actually be a free kick. And Maguire, as he's back onto his feet, just has a word with the Norwegian referee. Ali says that Spurs are an enigma. You look at Manchester United in their form in Europe, in contrast to the Premier League. 12 goals in their last 4 knockout games in the Europa League. 12 goals in their last 12 games in the Premier League. Bizarre.
It's quite simple. They just need to play on a Thursday night. That's it. They can play well on a Thursday night, Manchester United. And they have been excellent in this competition. But as you say, both Tottenham and Manchester United, Premier League form and Europa League form, absolutely night and day, worlds apart.
Sonardi with a layoff, links up with Inaki Williams. Sonardi now head down, runs forward, coming in now off that right touch line, still going. Sonardi just couldn't get it into the path of Berenguer. Never looked like he was fully in control. However, DeMarcos robs Dorgu. He sends in a teasing ball. There was a slip by Nico Williams on that far side, and that will allow Mazraoui to play the ball up and then back with Garnacho. Mazraoui given away by Ugarte, and the referee though has given an early decision in Manchester United's favour for a foul on Mazraoui and that will be a free kick to the away side as we approach the midway point of the first half. Athletic Bilbao 0, Manchester 0.
Yeah, Manchester United have looked at the most vulnerable when they're actually going forward, and Mazraoui and Dorgu, the two wing-backs, like I've said, are pushing on. It's a difficult one for them because they've got to deal with the threat of Inaki Williams and Nico Williams on each flank. But when the two Manchester United wing-backs push on, that space that they leave in behind them has been exploited on numerous occasions, and the Manchester United back three, who are very narrow, the width of the 18-yard box, at times get exposed in those wide areas. So they've got to ensure that they're a solid defensive unit when they're out of possession.
Onana then taking his time with a free kick midway through the Manchester United half. They're playing from right to left as we look, right-footed off the chest by Højlund into the path of Ugarte. Bruno Fernandes does a 360-degree turn to Garnacho, right corner of the area. Looks to go on the outside of Bacchiche, and he was fouled, and it'll be a free kick to Manchester United. Right-hand side, just outside the penalty area, and what are we? Probably about 14, 16 yards up from the byline.
He's looked lively, Garnacho. He's looked Manchester United's most dangerous player. Once again, he looks like he's got the beating of Bariche. Does a step over, gets past him. Left back dangles his leg out, takes the Manchester United player down and gives them an opportunity again. It's something that they've relied on. You've been quite obvious with their set plays, whether it be long free kicks or deliveries into the box from wider areas. Bruno Fernandes stood over this one, and Manchester United loading the box up.
Yuri Bacchiche, 35 years of age, used to be actually at the Tottenham Academy, probably just when Paul was coming to the end of his Tottenham Hotspur career. Actually went out on loan to Cheltenham in the year that they got relegated from League One and made 7 appearances. Bruno Fernandes with the free kick. Sinardi heads it away. The header back from Mazraoui. Dorgu, that last line of defence inside the centre circle, had to turn away from the Galarreta and then went all the way back to Onana, who strikes it long, right-footed over on that far side. Bacchiche climbs and wins that ball. Now it's with Nico Williams, helped out by Berenguer. Backpedaling was Lindelof. Ball kept in play by Ugarte. He's then dispossessed by Berenguer, who plays it back down the left-hand side. Ugarte needed to be stronger, and the cutback will be intercepted by Garnacho, as there is a foul then on Garnacho, and it'll be a Manchester United free kick just outside the D of their own penalty area. 25 minutes played, 0-0.
Both sides are getting frustrated with the referee, but there's one thing that the referee is, and it's consistent. I mean, he's giving fouls that clear, obvious fouls, but they're coming together on the far side over there on Ugarte. Ugarte was absolutely certain he was going to get a free kick. Sat on the floor, waited for the referee to blow the whistle, and to be fair to him, he's let a lot go, the referee, but he's not been inconsistent. He's not stopped the game for some and not others. He's actually got a bar, a level, if you like, of where he sees fouls, and he's letting the game flow, which is good.
Onana then drills this free kick, right-footed. Dorgu, legs with a wide stance, directs his header. Cleared by Danny Vivian. Lindelof beats Sinardi in the air. Casemiro, Yoro, triangular passing patterns. Bruno Fernandes goes in field to Ugarte, and then he loses out in the midfield to Haruguita. Coming forward is Danny Vivian, the central defender. Little flick inside by Nico Williams, goes straight to Casemiro, who tries to hit it long towards Garnacho. He's the outball, isn't he? Garnacho coming in off that right touchline. Slice clearance now by the goalkeeper, Aguirre Zabala. And now with Højlund dropping back midway through the Athletic Bilbao half. Still 0-0 on 5 Live.
They're not going to expect to come here and dominate possession, Manchester United, but what they are doing is when they do have possession, they're taking the sting out of the game. They're in comfortable possession now. Harry Maguire at a walking pace. And as you say, Garnacho is now switched over to this left flank. Been playing over on the right-hand side. He's come to this near side in the recent move that they've had. But he's the outball, he's the pace, he's the threat.
Here is Maguire, central position. That back three, Yoro along the ground. Garnacho loses the ball, and it's quickly played towards De Galarreta. Sinardi lays it off in the midway point of the Manchester United half. Bacchiche, the left back with Yerai, the central defender. Here now is Haruguita, able to turn to find Berenguer. Berenguer runs and looks for Sinardi, but that right-footed cross was arcing its way away from the goal of Manchester United to our right-hand side, and Sinardi was always going to struggle to keep it in, and it goes out for a goal kick, 0-0.
I think you look at the type of player that Sinardi is, it almost suits Harry Maguire to play against him. similar type stature. He's not necessarily the quickest, very dominant on his left foot. Harry Maguire at the moment, 27 minutes into the game, he seems to have the reading of the striker he's playing against. But his job tonight, Sonardi, will be to occupy the Manchester United back three, and the Williams brothers will be the ones that will be looking to have the destructive edge to the game in the wide areas.
As those red and white flags continue to fly in the bottom tier away towards our left-hand side, the Athletic Bilbao supporters were all jumping up and down in unison. I think almost every single supporter is wearing red and white inside this ground tonight. The various replica kits over the years, some retro, some of the new version. The only exception is that travelling support high up in the gods away towards our right-hand side.
It's been the city the whole day, hasn't it? The minute we woke up this morning and had a look out our bedroom windows, the whole city, red and white, and it's been like that for the last 2 days. The expectancy and the anticipation that comes with a game like this.
With a public holiday in Spain as well today. Labour Day, first celebrated back in 1889, as Dorgu tries to outstrip De Marcos on this near side. And De Marcos with a blatant push on the Manchester United left wing back. He knew he wasn't going to get there for pace. I mean, he is 36 years of age, the club captain, in his 16th season. Surprised, actually, he's got away with without a yellow card there from the Norwegian ref.
It was a blatant push, wasn't it? Two-handed into the back of Dorgu. Dorgu had done him all ends up. It's a quite simple move for the Manchester United wing-back. Pushes it round him, and he does him for pace. And he knows that, De Marcos. Two hands in the back, right in front of us. In front of the the home side dugout, goes to ground, and as you say, lucky to escape a yellow card. But again, we see Manchester United loading the box from a set play in an area where you might not necessarily see them doing this.
Bruno Fernandes then with the resulting free kick, 0-0, nearly half an hour played. Bruno Fernandes is trying to get Garnacho to come away from that line of Manchester United players, and it almost falls towards Garnacho, and indeed it does, and he passes the ball outright towards Maguire. And the England international will run forward. Can he deliver the cross? Not straight away, but he has done well. He does deliver the cross, and at the far post, there is Casemiro. And Manchester United take the lead with the all-important first goal. Harry Maguire did ever so well on the right-hand side. I think Ugarte got the flick, and Casemiro with the head of the far post, and Manchester United silence the crowd in Bilbao. They lead 1-0.
Said it's been coming, said they've been growing into this game, and again it's a set play from Manchester United. No apologies from Bruno Fernandes and his teammates. They go long, they go direct, ends up with Garnacho. Harry Maguire ends up stranded on the right wing. You think, where's this going? What's going to happen here? Harry Maguire, one step over, two step overs, and he delivers a wonderful ball into the box. And it is Ugarte at the near post with a glancing header towards the far post. And Casemiro, the easiest of tasks, nods home for Manchester United to go 1-0 up. Brilliant footwork by Harry Maguire. Outstanding cross. Ugarte's going for the far post with a flick header. Finds Casemiro, who finds the back of the net. 1-0.
All English final in Bilbao, May the 21st.
I hope so. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
It's on the cards with Tottenham Hotspur leading Bodo Glimt by 1-0. The game hasn't restarted yet, but I don't think there was any danger. No one was in an offside position. But Harry Maguire, play restarts, doing the sort of work on the right-hand side that Garnacho would have been wanting to do. Harry Maguire, as now they win the ball with Ugarte. And this is Højlund coming forward. Good spell this for Manchester United. Slid by Garnacho. Thought it might have struck his hand. He was lying on the floor at the time. Passes the ball out wide. Matsraoui joins the attack. And Højlund's almost on the end of that. He's saying he was pulled back. Danny Vivian towers over him as he complains to the Danish international. Manchester United with their tails up. Cross from Dorgu. Blocked by De Marcos. Behind for a corner. Manchester United leading by 1-0 have a corner kick.
And you can hear the frustrations from the home support. Going 1-0 down to Manchester United, just taking the bait, snapping into tackles, turnover possession again. Højlund out to Garnacho. Garnacho's got the beating of Berecic on the right-hand side. Gets past him, and it's a wonderful ball across the 6-yard box. Højlund's claiming that he was pulled back by Vivian. Nothing given by the referee, but another corner for Manchester United. They're not in a rush to take it.
VAR would be having a look at that. We'll see how long the
delay is to this corner kick, because Bruno Fernandes is currently being told to wait. It's Alejandro De Paolo, the Italian VAR. I'm not sure that there was a sustained period of holding by Vivian, but VAR clearly having a look at it. Manchester United already lead by a goal to nil. But there was certainly contact, I think, between the central defender and Højlund.
Well, if Højlund doesn't go down, he's got a tap in from 6 yards. So there must be some kind of contact there to make Rasmus Højlund go to ground. It was a great run, it was a great ball across the 6-yard box. Immediately, Danny Vivian got up and got in Højlund's face as to whether that was a show for the referee or whether it's frustration that he thought Højlund had dived. But we are still having this long VAR check. Referee's trying to get the players away from him, but I question why Højlund would go down in that situation when he could tap it into an empty net if there was no contact. I think it's all about the level of contact.
I think the longer the delay with this VAR decision, the more chance then it has been awarded, or at least the Italian VAR official tells the Norwegian counterpart to go and have a look at the monitor.
It's a ball across from the right-hand side. It's Mazwari. And Højlund gets goal side of Vivian, and he's got two hands on him. He's got two arms across his shoulder, and he pulls his left shoulder back. And immediately he claims to Højlund.
It's going to be given, because the referee has indicated he's going to have a look at the monitor. He comes across to this near side. Manchester United are going to get a penalty here in Bilbao.
Yeah, and as I said, there was absolutely no reason that Højlund would go down in that situation. It's the referee's interpretation now as to how much force Vivian has on Højlund's shoulder. There's no way he'd go down. It's a beautiful ball by Mazwari, right in the corridor of uncertainty. He's tapping it into an empty net. There is some contact there that's pulled him down and pulled him backwards. The referee's taking a long look. We're seeing stills, we're seeing slow motion replays. They're going backwards and forwards. This is not going to be a quick decision.
It would be a very strong referee to go against his VAR official when the guidance is you need to come and have a look at this. And he's looked at it 2 or 3 times at the monitor. He's asking for another replay. He's putting his right hand to his right ear where the communication is.
What a moment this could be for Manchester United. What a moment, what a big moment in this semi-final.
So still we wait, still they look at the constant replays. You can hear the level of frustration inside this stadium, and the referee gives a penalty to Manchester United. It's the travelling support who celebrates. And Athletic Bilbao, oh, it's a red card. It's the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. And Danny Vivian, the Spanish international defender, has been sent off.
Wow. Wow.
No attempt to play the ball.
What a change in dynamic this game has had. What a twist in the tale. This is incredible. Vivian, he stopped a goal-scoring opportunity. Clearly, the referee is deemed as contact. There's nobody between Rasmus Højlund and the empty net. If he deems that's a foul, he has to go.
If there'd been a genuine attempt to play the ball and the penalty was awarded, it would have been a yellow card. There was no attempt to play. It is a straight red. Danny Vivian has been sent off. And they are apoplectic, the Bilbao players. So much so that Bachiche, who's very experienced, the 35-year-old, is having to be restrained, told to get away from the Norwegian referee. Meanwhile, Manchester United have this penalty. He's still not left the field, Danny Vivian down below.
He's going at the 4th official. He's going to have a member of the Athletic Bilbao staff actually drag him off the field. He's doing the binocular sign to the 4th official. He's now berating the assistant on this near side. There's 3 staff in the Athletic Bilbao tracksuit getting him off the field and down the tunnel.
Bruno Fernandes, 5 goals in the Europa League this season. 6 penalties out of his tally of 17 this season. It's a deafening noise trying to put off Bruno Fernandes, who scored 37 out of 41 penalties in his Manchester United career. He waits. He has to try and put the noise to the back of his mind. Steadies himself, slow run-up, stuttering run-up, right-footed, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, strokes it right-footed to the right of Aguirre Fabala, Manchester United have been here before, of course, in the Europa League, but they now lead 2-0 in this semi-final first leg.
That's a massive goal. That is a massive goal in the context of this game for Manchester United. The crowd have gone silent. Such a big moment. Danny Vivian sent off. Bruno Fernandes, the coolest man inside this stadium. He has a straight run up. The referee blows the whistle. There's 5, 6, 7 seconds before Fernandes even moves. He takes his time, straight run up, stuttering run up, looks at the goalkeeper who dives to his right-hand side. Fernandes coolly opens his foot up, strokes it into the bottom left-hand corner, and to give Manchester United the most unlikeliest of 2-goal leads.
They were 2 up against Lyon, remember, in the previous round. Before that, dramatic finale at Old Trafford, but they will certainly not want to squander a 2-goal lead here in northern Spain. There's been another goal in North London. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Tottenham have a 2-goal lead as well. James Maddison is having one of those nights. What a ball from Pedro Porro from deep. It travelled 50, 60 yards. Maddison made the run, brought it down beautifully, took it round the goalkeeper and found the bottom corner. 10 minutes to half-time. Tottenham lead Bodo Glimt 2-0.
And an all-English final looking more and more likely, although Casemiro has just given the ball towards Nico Williams. Williams shoots, takes a deflection, goes behind for a corner kick. We'll quickly get an update, see how Chelsea are faring. John Southall.
Well, they're leading Djurgården by 1-0. Should have been 2. Noni Madueke made the run. Reece James picked him out, but saved by Rinner. Great chance that. Djurgården 0, Chelsea 1.
And we'll quickly get an update from the City Ground, Chris Coles.
6 minutes into the second half, Forest 0, Brentford 1. More endeavour from Forest in the early stages of the second half. Good Anderson ball in just over Wood's head. Forest 0, Brentford 1.
Athletic Bilbao trailing by 2-0, down to 10 men. Have got a corner kick that Nico Williams was about to take, and then the referee blew his whistle, much to the annoyance of the Spanish international. But he's having a word with Bochiche and Højlund at the moment, the left back and the Manchester United striker. The referee watchful on those two as they jostle for position inside that penalty area. Nico Williams with the outswinging corner, headed away by Maguire. The referee then gets in the way of Haragitha as the shot comes in and is flashed wide by Inaki Williams. Referee is not endearing himself to Bilbao supporters.
I wouldn't like to get the lift home with him tonight, the referee. He certainly isn't endearing himself to the supporters. He really was in the way there of Haragitha. Ball comes to him on the edge of the box and the referee just bumps into him inadvertently. He had a real opportunity to take the ball down and get a strike at the Manchester United goal. But it's an important time for Athletic Bilbao now. The manager below is looking to reshuffle his pack. I think he's going to make a substitution. Formation will change, obviously losing the man. But for Manchester United, get to half-time at 2-0 up. It's an incredible result for them.
Looks like it's going to be a double change. Aitor Paredes and Andoni Gorosabel are the 2 players who look like they're going to come on. So 2 defenders, so another player is going to have to be sacrificed. At the moment, Berenguer is filling in as a left-back. Bochiche has gone in to fill the void left by Danny Vivian after being sent off. Manchester United are in such a strong position with 4.5 minutes to go to half-time.
They've played well. They've grown into this game. They've taken their opportunities. And then when they sensed that Athletic Bilbao were weak after conceding that first goal, they went again. It was a wonderful ball from Mazraoui that created the penalty. And now Manchester United, at the moment, pedestrian speed, in full control of this tie away from home.
Could be 6 clubs in the Champions League from England next season, if it will be an all-English final here on the 21st of May. Manchester United, it's been an eventful campaign, certainly, but you would think playing against the 10 men of Athletic Bilbao now and a 2-goal lead, is it too early to say they've got 1 foot in the final?
I think the support and the team, the way that they play here, Athletic Bilbao, I think it's a long way from over, but they're certainly in an advantageous position.
Now looking to try and make that extra man count. They are on the front foot. Garnacho laid it out to the left. Orgu wins another corner kick. And now we can see how this double change is going to be impacted. Oscar De Marcos, the club captain, is going to come off. So that will be Gorosabel to replace him. So Oscar De Marcos makes way. There'll be no repeating of his heroics where he scored in both legs when they played
in 2012, and Doni Iraola, incidentally, in that last 16 Europa League tie 13 years ago, played in both games, the Bournemouth manager. And then the other change is Aitor Paredes, who is come on, and it is Berenguer who has gone off. So the attacking midfielder is Manchester United with the corner, flicked on by Casemiro, blocked, comes out towards Bruno Fernandes, shows too much to Nico Williams. That ball will run loose, and Ugarte on the cover just chips the ball high and out of play. It goes for a throw. Manchester United still lead 2-0, 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. Paul Robinson.
Waiting to see how Athletic Bilbao are going to set up when the game settles again. Breaking play now, they've got a throw-in on this near touchline. But it's been excellent from Manchester United, it really has. They had to control the onslaught, the initial onslaught, the atmosphere, the anticipation before the game. But they've coped with everything extremely well. And to get to this point, 2 goals up, playing against 10 men, he couldn't have wished for any better, Ruben Amorim.
No, and certainly it makes you think, doesn't it, about the chances that Athletic Bilbao had before, that Berenguer testing Onana, Inaki Williams' header that should have gone in, and then the goal-bound effort that was from Berenguer, blocked by Lindelof. So they did have their moments as the ball is chipped in by Bruno Fernandes. Dorgu, flag stays down, onto his right foot, back onto his left, and shoots and almost beats the goalkeeper. Aguirre Thalabala inside his near post, but then the flag is up and it will be a free kick to Athletic Bilbao. We have 90 seconds to go to half-time. Manchester United lead by 2-0. Djurgården, Chelsea. John Southall.
Djurgården 0, Chelsea 2. Too easy this for Chelsea. Noni Medwake on the right of the area, totally unmarked, and stroked it in at the near post. It's been comfortable in this first half for Chelsea. Djurgården 0, Chelsea 2.
So all English sides leading 2-0 in their respective ties tonight.
An all-English final. Dare we tempt it? Dare we tempt it? Certainly look forward to a trip back here. It's been sensational thus far, hasn't it? Great atmosphere, great city. And I think the home support are a little stunned as to what they're seeing on the pitch.
Well, before that, you've got the small matter of a trip to the Arctic Circle next week.
I'm just glad I didn't have to pack in the same bag.
It'll be a lot colder than northern Spain, I can guarantee you that. Garnacho for Manchester United, back with Harry Maguire. Comes to a standstill on the halfway line inside the centre circle. And Athletic Bilbao with 4 minutes of added on time. They're on the defensive, but the ball is threaded through to Bruno Fernandes, and Bruno Fernandes goes through to score, right-footed. A double for the Manchester United captain. They lead by 3-0, and they surely have 1 foot in the final now. Athletic Bilbao 0, Manchester United 3.
Amazing, absolutely amazing from Manchester United. Athletic Bilbao are falling apart in front of our eyes. Home supporters got their head in their hands. The stadium's fallen absolutely silent apart from those Manchester United fans away high to our right. Bruno Fernandes gets put through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Again, Manchester United controlling possession. It's an inadvertent 1-2 with Rasmus Højlund onto Ugarte, who just nonchalantly flicks it with the outside of his right boot into the path of Bruno Fernandes. He's in behind the Bilbao defence. Goalkeeper dives down to his right. Fernandes stays cool, lifts it up and over the goalkeeper into the other corner. Manchester United 3-0 up away from home.
Well, they're stunned here inside the San Mamés Stadium, the cathedral as it is known. The only 2 teams to win here in the last 45 games, a run going all the way back to August 2023, are Osasuna and Atletico Madrid. And yet, they find themselves 3-0 down to Manchester United. And they came into this game with such high hopes, and it is unravelling before their eyes. Down to 10 men, 3-0 down. Manchester United are looking to try and make the return leg at Old Trafford a mere formality.
Genuinely can't believe what I'm seeing here. Really can't. The performance from Manchester United and the capitulation of Athletic Bilbao. But that's credit to Manchester United and the way that they've approached this. Not in their wildest dreams did they think that they would have a 3-goal lead going into half-time in the first half of this game. They've been dangerous. They've taken their opportunities. They've had a clear game plan, as they're doing now. Andre Onana's got the ball and they're kicking it long. They've gone long in set plays, they've loaded the box up, and most of all, they've been very effective in what they've done.
Manchester United leading 3-0 in stoppage time here on BBC Radio 5 Live. And Athletic Bilbao cannot afford to concede any more goals. They have to try and get something back, but they can't keep going forward, because if they leave any more gaps, well, this tie's going to be over.
Well, they're in full control, Manchester United. They're recycling the ball around the back there. Casemiro, he had no options. He knew that he could just hook it back over the top, that his goalkeeper Onana was there, Maguire was there. The back three of Manchester United, they're having to deal with one striker now. They've reverted back to the back four, Athletic Bilbao. They've still got a back four. They've got the two holding midfielders, and they've got the lone striker who's going to cut a very, very lonely figure. Manchester United are extremely dominant and in complete control.
3-0. What a first half it has been for Ruben Amorim and his players. This was expected to be a stern test for them. However, they're making a mockery of that now. Here is Dorgu on this near side to Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes cuts it back, it bounces off Ugarte. Højlund was there and goes behind for a corner kick. Looked like maybe Højlund was in an offside position, but flag has stayed down. The officials once again are coming in for lots of stick from the home support.
He was miles offside, Højlund. A good move again by Manchester United. Fernandes reverses it to the edge of the box. Do you know, looking at the replay, it had been tight. The Athletic players are looking over to the assistant, looking for the flag. It was a close one, but Manchester United again with a set play just before half-time.
Bruno Fernandes with a corner, flicked on at the near post. Euro might come out towards Batshuayi. He hits the crossbar. Hit it first time, left-footed, just outside the D. And it rattled the stanchion.
What a strike. What a strike from Mazwari on his left foot. Hit the joint of post and bar. The goal to the left is still rattling. Well worked corner by Manchester United. Mazwari's got no other intention other than to hit that whip, curl, bend, smashes against the crossbar. Manchester United could have had four.
Batshuayi, whose last goal was in May 2023. He's only scored one goal in about 3 years. Still yet to score for Manchester United, and almost got a fourth. But the 4 minutes of injury time are over, and Manchester United, with their supporters celebrating over on that far side at the half-time whistle, are in such a great position. But this is the reception that greets the Norwegian referee as he leaves the field of play. Hoots and howls inside Bilbao, but Manchester United at the break. Athletic Bilbao 0, Manchester United 3.
Ian Paul, thank you very much indeed. Andros Townsend, Phil Jones with us in the studio here. Wow. I mean, Phil, firstly, is that the best 45 minutes under Ruben Amorim?
Yeah, it's definitely up there. I think the way he set his team up to play in this game, a big game, has been, you know, he deserves a lot of credit for that. I'm very surprised the way Bilbao have played. I expected a lot more aggression, a lot more intensity. I thought they would come out at United and really have a right good go and press from the front. They haven't done that. They've been a bit lethargic. They've gifted a lot of opportunities, but fair play to United. I think they've done really well. They've countered when they can. They've stayed in a nice compact shape and broke from that shape with numbers. Garnacho, 3-0. What a half.
Andros, take away, if you can, the sort of idea of what feels fair or unfair. With the rules as they are, once that penalty is given, does Vivian have to go?
I think once the penalty has been given, he does have to go. Do I think it should have been a penalty? Probably not.
Really?
You'd have wanted one of them. You'd have wanted that.
100%. But if the referee had given it, you'd say penalty. But for VAR to overturn the referee's decision, was it clear that he had enough of a tug of his shirt and that impacted Højlund to make him go down? I'm not so sure.
I think if it's the Premier League, you don't get it. I think Europa League, you do get it. But what I will say is, I think it's a penalty, but to send him off as well. And I know I don't blame the referee. I don't blame the referee because he's doing what he's been told to do. But the people, honestly, the people writing these rule books do not understand football. Like, show a bit of common sense. He's not a deliberate. He's not. It's not a red card, but it's 3-0 up, and I'm happy.
Yeah, there's the rules, and whether you agree with the rules, and both points are absolutely very pertinent. What a first half it's been for English clubs in Europe tonight. Manchester United absolutely flying, on their way to the final, you'd think, and Tottenham Hotspur have started brilliantly against Bodo Glimt, Ali Bruce Ball.
Yeah, riddle me that, Steve. Can you fathom Manchester United? Can you fathom Tottenham? They've been really good tonight, built an imposing atmosphere inside the stadium before the game, came flying out of the blocks. Brennan Johnson's header beautifully guided in the first minute of the game. Bodo Glimt are missing key players here. Tottenham recognise this is their opportunity, and they are onto them all the time. The second goal, Rob Green, former England goalkeeper, watching the game with me tonight. What a peach of a goal from James Maddison.
Yeah, it was a wonderful ball into him, but from there, the run, the touch, just said everything about James Maddison and what sort of mood he's in tonight. I think he knows he's got the beating of this team on his own, and he's got the pawns around him just to manipulate the game how he wants to. Spurs are on song. They're a really good side to watch when they're like this. Sorry for them, but they've got another sort of game and a half to play.
Yeah, this is Tottenham season, this tie, and they know tonight is the opportunity, Steve. Going to Northern Norway next week is going to be tricky. Ange Postecoglou will demand more. It couldn't have gone better in the first half, really, though. They lead Bodo Glimt by 2-0.
Andros Townsend so excited he just knocked his microphone over.
No, we spoke before the game about a surprising lineup for Spurs, and I think you could see in the first 5 minutes why Ange Postecoglou played the team he did. Bodo Glimt playing a ridiculously high line, so the managers put two passing centre midfielders on, Bentancur, Basuma, Maddison when he drops in, Pedro Porro. They're just feeding the balls in behind. You've got three willing runners, Brennan Johnson, Solanke, Richarlison, who are just chasing absolutely everything. And the second goal came from it, but there was 3 or 4 instances before that where Spurs could have capitalised as well.
So Spurs 2, Bodo Glimt 0, Athletic Bilbao 0, Manchester United 3. Second half commentary from San Mamés here on 5 Live and from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on 5 Sports Extra. Conference League playoff semi-finals going on as well. Chelsea in Stockholm. John Southall.
Yep, it's a full set at half-time because it's Djurgården 0, Chelsea 2 at half-time. Controlled, dominant first-half performance from Chelsea. The opening goal after 12 minutes. Jadon Sancho left of the area. His shot came off Danielson and in it went. Madueke could have added a second from 6 yards, denied by Rinner. He made amends just before half-time, unmarked on the right of the area and stroked in his 11th goal of the season. One chance for the home side. Tokmak's effort saved by Jurgensen late on in the half, but Chelsea in total control at half-time. Djurgården 0, Chelsea 2.
So Chelsea, Spurs, Manchester United all feeling very comfortable. I imagine the City ground is anything but Chris Coles.
Nervy. They realise how big tonight could be, and it's not going the home fans' way. Forest 0, Brentford 1. They have been better, Forest, in this second half, creating much more. Chris Wood with a header, just glanced wide. But the problem is they're leaving so much space for Brentford to counter-attack into that you wouldn't be surprised if the visitors got a second. Still 20 minutes to play. Forest 0, Brentford 1.
Thank you very much, Chris. So we'll keep you up to date with that. Second half commentary on the way in the Europa League. Between now and then, we'll be back to the World Snooker Championship. We're also going to speak live to Rodri Jones, the Managing Director of Rugby League Commercial, off the back of comments from Catalan Dragons star Luke Carey about Super League. Talking in the Australian media, he has described the competition as horrendous and unwatchable. So reaction on the way to that before second half commentary in the 2 Europa League games. Let's get the news now on 5 Live with Al Tansley.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, Steve. Donald Trump says his national security advisor Mike Waltz will leave his job, confirming reports in American media. He'll be nominated to serve as US ambassador to the United Nations. He's been under pressure after he included a journalist in a Signal group chat where high-ranking officials planned military strikes in Yemen. Ambassador John Bolton was a national security advisor during President Trump's first term.
It's fine to be UN ambassador. I can tell you, as somebody who's held that job, it's a great job to have and a great honor to serve, but it's not a normal line of progression, and certainly not under the current circumstances. This is the kind of chaos that enveloped Trump in his first term, certainly in the national security area when critical decisions have to be made, and it's now seeping over into the second term.
Harrods says it's the latest British retailer to have been targeted in a cyber attack. The firm said it had restricted internet access at its sites after an attempt to gain access to its systems. The Co-op and Marks & Spencer have also been hit by hackers in recent days, but there's been no confirmation of a link. President Zelensky has praised the deal that's been signed with the US on exploiting Ukraine's reserves of minerals and fossil fuels. He called it a truly equal partnership and said it was the first tangible outcome of his recent meeting with President Trump before the Pope's funeral. Police in southern France are investigating the murder of a British South African woman who was stabbed to death in what's been described as a frenzied attack. Karen Carter was 65 and owned a guest house near Bordeaux. And a national 2-minute silence will be held at noon next Thursday to mark the 80th anniversary of VE Day. The government said it would be a chance to remember those who fought in the Second World War.
Welcome to today's quiz. Here's the question.
We're asking, what do you want the future of the BBC to look like?
And the good news is, there's no wrong answer.
We want to know what you think because the BBC belongs to all of us. To have your say, look out for an email or visit bbc.co.uk/RBBC Our Future.
This is 5 Live Sports
with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Goal at Nottingham Forest in the Premier League, Chris Coles.
It's another for Brentford. Forest Champions League ambitions being severely dented tonight. It's such an uncharacteristic goal for them to concede. Johan Visser has it, gets the wrong side of Milenkovic, dinks it beautifully over the onrushing Matt Sells. Brentford still have hope of sweeping up the minor European places, and this scoreline does them the world of good in that regard. 90 minutes to play, Forest 0, Brentford 2.
So we'll be back to the live football shortly. We're going to talk rugby league now. Catalan Dragons star halfback Luke Keary has made some really dramatic comments about the state of Super League. He was talking to Australian media and he called the competition horrendous and unwatchable. He said, I'll go on the record saying it's in such a bad way. The game is horrendous. The product, the coverage, the news around the game, there is zero. A bit of context, reports in Australia have suggested that their National Rugby League, NRL, want to buy a significant stake in Super League. On that, Keary said if the NRL don't buy Super League, they're in a lot of trouble. All the players are open to it. That's what he had to say. Let's speak to the Managing Director of Rugby League Commercial, Rhodri Jones. Rhodri, thank you for speaking to us. There's a lot to take in there. What's your reaction?
Evening, Steve. Good to hear from you. They were dramatic. Certainly when I woke up this morning and saw them, they were certainly dramatic. Luke's clearly entitled to his own opinion. I'm not necessarily in agreement with what he's got to say. You know, from our perspective, our figures are showing that we're having a very positive season. Our attendances are up, our TV audiences, both across Sky Sports and BBC, are up. And probably there's a little bit of Luke being in France. He might be a little bit out of the mainstream somewhat in terms of seeing the positivity for the game here in the UK. But he'll get a real feel for that this coming weekend with Magic Weekend up in the northeast at St James's Park, where he'll play in front of 65,000 people on Saturday against Lee Leopards.
Damaging comments?
I think honest from a person who's been involved in the competition for the last 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks, I would say. I think, I recognise Luke has played at the very top of the game in Australia. And the game in Australia is very much akin to the Premier League over here. And that Sydney bubble, it's non-stop media, it's front page, back page. And that's what he's used to. But, I'd maintain that we're heading in the right direction. We are working with the NRL. You saw us in Las Vegas earlier in the season with Wigan and Warrington. The Ashes are coming here in the autumn with 2 sellout crowds at Everton and Headingley, with Wembley, over 30,000 tickets sold. And again, we've got Magic Weekend this weekend, which is raising the profile of the competition in this country. And he'll also be involved in a sellout next weekend in a Challenge Cup semi-final against Hull KR. So, I think maybe over the next week or so, Luke might have a different opinion on Super League.
Genuine question, Rhodri. Do you feel as measured as you sound about this? Because you do sound very measured.
Thank you. Look, I was surprised. I was surprised by what he had to say. I did speak to the club his club this morning, and they too were surprised. I think they would be disappointed perhaps with how dramatic his comments were, especially with, I know Mark had Steve McNamara on Monday night, and Steve, was talking positively about French teams in Super League and what they bring to the competition, and I guess that smacks in the face a little bit of what Steve was saying on Monday night. So yeah, it's disappointing. I actually saw and met Luke for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and he asked me about the NRL, and I gave him a very honest answer, which was, we are talking. We've got a positive working relationship with them. Vegas and Ashes being two examples. There's a lot of ongoing dialogue with the NRL, but there's also a lot of media speculation in both hemispheres. So at this point in time, it's who knows what the future could look like. So yeah, it's interesting, and no doubt we'll probably bump into each other over the weekend as well.
So one of the things I found really interesting there, Rodri, is from what I've read, and obviously I'm happy for you to tell me this isn't the case, but from what I've read, when it comes to potential NRL investment, they are very keen on the inclusion of French teams like Catalan. So if that is the case, does that make these comments an issue for you from that perspective? Because not everybody in the sport might take them in as measured a way as you have.
Yeah, I can see that. I think to answer the first part, from what I'm reading as well, and you and I probably reading the same things, it feels like if the NRL are to get involved in the Super League competition, that it would have a French influence to the competition. Which, look, I think the Dragons have been a positive news story narrative over the last 19 years in the Super League competition. It's just the economics of their inclusion is the question at the moment, and that needs to be further discussed. It is the honest kind of position on the Dragons. Like I say, Steve, I come back to Luke's he's been in the competition for 9 rounds. He's been in France out of the mainstream. Look, I think we can do a lot of things that can convince him that perhaps he's been a bit overdramatic in his comments.
Rodri, thank you so much for talking to us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve. Thank you.
That's Rodri Jones, the Managing Director of Rugby League Commercial. One of the sports story in cricket, 3 days after his record-breaking century in the IPL, 14-year-old Vijayabhav Suryavanshi out for a 2-ball duck, ready to go in Bilbao. Ian, all yours.
Second half underway. Manchester United lead by 3-0 against the 10 men of Athletic Bilbao. And they've made another change, have Athletic Bilbao. Prados, the midfielder, has come on for the Galarreta in the midfield. So Aguirre Zabala is in goal. Garasabel, Yere, Paredes and Bachiche is how they line up defensively now. In the midfield, you've got Harekitha and Prados with Inaki Williams and Nico Williams and Sinade through the middle. And they're in their red and white striped shirts and black shorts against a Manchester United side that are leading through 2 goals from Bruno Fernandes, 1 from the penalty spot after Casemiro's header gave them the lead on the half hour. So they scored 3 goals in about a 15-minute period, and they almost got a 4th through Matsraoui, who hit the crossbar in first half injury time. Onana is in goal, a back 3 of Yoro, Maguire, Lindelof, Matsraoui, Dorgu, Casemiro, Ugarte, Garnacho, Fernandes and Hoyland. 3-0, and in the dream scenario for Amorim.
They're in full control at the moment, Manchester United. Looking at the changes that Athletic Bilbao have made, they're coming out now and they're in a clear 4-4-1 formation. Inaki Williams on the right and Nico Williams on the left will be the ones charged with joining Sinade as a striker. Defensively, they cannot afford to concede. Manchester United are in an extremely good, strong position in this game.
A reminder, a choice of listening on Sports Extra. We have commentary of the other semi-final, where Tottenham Hotspur are leading Bodo Glimt by 2-0. In the Premier League, Brentford lead Nottingham Forest 1-0. Chelsea are 2-0 up at Djurgården in the UEFA Conference League semi-final. So that's on Sports Extra if you want the game in North London. And both semi-finals second legs will be covered next Thursday as well. Once we see how the land lies after the 90 minutes tonight, will the bosses decide which goes on 5 Live next Thursday, and then the other one on Sports Extra. 24 hours after we'll be live in Paris next Wednesday for the return leg of Paris Saint-Germain against Arsenal. But before that, a whole host of commentaries to bring you the weekend in the Premier League. Brentford's Manchester United game, incidentally, at 2 o'clock will be on Sports Extra this coming Sunday. We're also joined tonight on Radio Manchester, and those travelling supporters, 2,600 of them, high up in the gods behind the mesh netting in that far corner, watching on, will be thinking, what a scoreline this is. The best defensive side in La Liga have seen that back line breached 3 times. Even Ruben Amorim was saying yesterday about that, how they struggle to score goals, or they have, maybe in the Premier League, not necessarily in the last 4 matches in the knockout stages. They've added another 3 to their tally.
Well, you look at Manchester United's recent record scoring goals against, what do you say, the best defence in the league. They've only conceded 26 goals in 33 games. It's an incredible defensive performance, and that combination of Manchester United being unable to score against that defence, you thought all that added together, as well as what a good side they are, Athletic Bilbao, what a tough task it was for Manchester United.
Very much so. They only conceded 2 in the 6 previous home games in this competition, where they've scored 14 and have won all 6, and Nico Williams being challenged, snapping at the heels. There was Lindelof, the ball goes out of play. They did have their moments in the first half, but Manchester United just seized the initiative, and then obviously that sending off not helping the cause for Athletic Bilbao, who've only suffered 1 defeat in 8 previous home games against English opposition. That was against Liverpool in 1983 when Ian Rush scored the only goal. That was probably when they had Goicoechea, wasn't it? The butcher of Bilbao, that tough tackling, no-nonsense defender, if memory serves me right. But 5 minutes into the second half, and Manchester United have been carving up Bilbao here, 3-0.
It's a concentration exercise as well for Manchester United. They are going to dominate the possession in the second half, and individual errors they can't let creep into the game. Athletic Bilbao are going to have a go, they're going to take their opportunities, but Manchester United can use that to their advantage and try and exploit the spaces that they leave in behind them with only 10 men on the field.
Ball is played out, the referee again gets in the way. That's the second time that the referee has got in the way tonight. Unfortunate really as he runs his lines, but again he's absolutely berated by the Athletic Bilbao supporters. Nico Williams runs forward almost a 3rd time. Don't think he actually helped there for a stumbling Berchiche, as then the ball is passed out wide towards that far side. They're looking for just something to cling on to. They had hopes for their 3rd European semi-final, like the previous 2 in the late 70s when they reached the final in the UEFA Cup in 76, 77, and more recently in the Europa League in 2012 of winning those 2 previous semi-finals. But the added significance of it being played in this stadium, but those dreams lay in tatters at the moment. 3-0. Garnacho forward for Manchester United, right-hand side, strikes the heels of Berchiche, and out for a Manchester United throw on the right. 3-0 they lead.
Defensively, they're going to have to be solid, Athletic Bilbao, and as soon as Manchester United have the possession, those 2 banks of 4, they drop very deep and allow Manchester United comfortable possession in front of those red and white shirts. What Manchester United have to do, listen, they've got an opportunity tonight to finish this tie. They really have. If they haven't done it already with 3 goals, if they can go on now against 10 men and get 4, potentially more, that puts the tie to bed and it's job done, and they've got a real opportunity to do that tonight. But the one most important thing is they keep that 0 next to their name.
Just for clarification, I hadn't updated my crib sheet at half-time. Brentford lead Nottingham Forest 2-0, of course, at the City Ground, and that is a serious setback for Nottingham Forest Champions League aspirations in their attempt to get back into the top 5. Lindelof strokes the ball towards Maguire, comes onto it as a gentle pace as he ambles his way forward. Euro then back towards Maguire. They played with an intensity at the start. They were keen to press Manchester United. They did actually win the ball on a couple of occasions, but they're a little more reluctant to go forward now with that same levels of desire, as therefore Manchester United are not coming under any pressure at the back. And Casemiro out towards Dorgu. The return ball by Bruno Fernandes. He fires it in. Garnacho, was he fouled? He almost said, as he appeals to the referee, again, as he and Højlund try and get onto that low ball in from the left-hand side. Why would Garnacho go to ground in that instance. It's a similar situation for Hoyland in the first half where a penalty was awarded.
It's not a similar situation, it's a carbon copy. This time it's from the other side, it's Dorgu. Plays the ball across the 6-yard box. Garnacho gets in front of his marker. There looks to be a little bit of contact, but the referee's not interested this time. Garnacho, to be fair, he was a fair way off the ball. Good ball in by Dorgu, but again, almost a carbon copy, and that's what Manchester United have to do. The turnover possession, get Dorgu in those wide areas, crosses in the box, along the floor, what's been so dangerous for them. They are in complete control, Manchester United. They have to stay this way for the rest of the game.
Athletic Bilbao have got the dilemma, though, haven't they? They need to try and get something to give themselves a foothold or a toe back into this game, but they can't concede another one.
Well, you look at where they are now. What are they, 15 yards outside their own box, the back four? Manchester United have got comfortable possession on the halfway line. 2 banks of force. You can see clearly from high up here in our elevated position in the main stand, looking down on what looks like a Sabutio pitch at times. The view is excellent. There's 2 banks of 4, red and white shirts. And Sanadi, the striker, he cuts a very lonely figure, running from side to side, chasing lost causes.
Here is Lindelof as he steps forward. Just slips it into the path of Hoyland. Fernandez to Ugarte, who's chipped forward. Mazraoui wins it back, plays it out towards Garnacho, right-hand side. Mazraoui still there. Garnacho, though, running away from the right corner of the penalty area. Manchester United in their dark blue shirts and grey shorts, playing from left to right as we look. Maguire back with that Lindelof on the halfway line. And Lindelof coming forward now. Back then with Maguire, but there's no pressure on that back line. Casemiro, who got the first goal, just drops into the centre circle, takes it off Maguire, out towards Garnacho, and then tried to link up with Ugarte. The move breaks down and Garnacho tries to go in pursuit of the ball, and there was Julian Aguirre-Zabala, the goalkeeper, all in orange, who comes out and smothers. And he has the ball, and he waits for those red and white striped shirts to push on downfield as they trail 3-0 10 minutes into the second period.
There's no pressure on the Manchester United defence when they have the ball. As soon as Athletic Bilbao lose the ball, they drop deep into that shape. Like I said, Harry Maguire, Euro and Lindelof, they can recycle the ball around at the back for as long as they like. Bilbao are not going to press until they hit that line of midfielders, which is quite deep in their own half.
Bilbao was awarded the Europa League final after as the venue was replaced by Seville when they were withdrawn by UEFA for the to be a host city for Euro 2020 due to the COVID pandemic. And after doing so well in the league phase, I think many would have thought what a scenario it would be to be playing in a European final in your home ground. Not so. Not unless something dramatic happens.
They're stunned, aren't they, the supporters? They're really stunned around us. I mean, there's a section over to our left-hand side trying to get the singing going. But I said to you at half-time, I said I wouldn't be surprised if a few of these leave the way that the team played in the first half and how frustrated they were. But you've got to give them so much credit. There's not an empty seat to be had. The stadium's absolutely full. Granted, the moods change very quickly.
Could change again if Manchester United were to add another goal. As Garnacho passes the ball forward to the feet of Mazraoui, looks to try and turn, plays the ball in field. Ugarte, it was a nice turn, just slightly behind Bruno Fernandes, move breaks down. Picked up by Inaki Williams over on that far side, the right. Looks for the run of Sanadi, who strikes off Harry Maguire. And then the referee says no free kick, where I thought Sanadi, involved in a bit of a tussle with Harry Maguire, got goal side. And much to the bemusement, bewilderment, the decision didn't go in favour of the Athletic Bilbao player, and the supporters are incandescent with rage.
It's carnage, it's absolute carnage. Everyone to a person is off the seat waving their arms. White handkerchiefs are getting waved at the referee. The game's now stopped and the Athletic Bilbao players surround the referee and ask about that decision. Sanadi got goal side of Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire looked at one point like he was going to get outpaced. He muscled Sanadi off the ball, who did go to ground quite easily. But in that instance, if the referee gives a free kick against Maguire, he's then got to send him off because he's the last man. The white handkerchiefs, white pieces of paper, they're all over the place.
They formed a mosaic when the teams came out. They're now turning around those placards and they're showing the white, so you've got white bits of paper as well as the handkerchiefs that have been waved in direction of the referee, who is now only fueling the fire as he comes across and shows a yellow card to a member on the bench of the Athletic Bilbao coaching staff down below. I've got to say, I thought it was a foul. Play meanwhile continues. And Inaki Williams holds off the challenge of Hoyland, but still they are angry.
That's an understatement. I think if I was that referee, I'd be waiting for the stadium to clear before I even left, probably until tomorrow morning, the way that things are at the moment. I mean, it's getting to see it again on the replay now. There's a coming together, there's a tussle between them, and it does look like Maguire catches Sonardi. He's very unlucky not to get a free kick there, the Athletic Bilbao striker.
Amidst the din, the instruction from the studio. An update from Tottenham. Alistair Bruce ball.
9 minutes played in the second half. Slightly stilted, soporific start by Tottenham. They lead 2-0, but not the same intensity or noise. Fans are trying to lift them now. They've had a couple of corners, not been able to do anything with them. Comfortable at the moment, though. They lead Bodo Glimt 2-0.
Certainly, soporific is not a word that you would use inside this stadium.
One for the glossary.
3-0 to Manchester United. Well, they've got the narrative, haven't they, to blame the referee, although that wouldn't necessarily be completely accurate, would it?
No, I mean, the penalty was given by the VAR official. The referee didn't actually give the penalty on the field. The players were lined up and waiting for a play to restart. He had to come over, look at his monitor and take advice from the VAR official. But you do feel, the home fans feel slightly begrudged to the referee's performance tonight. Manchester United have had most of the decisions.
Manchester United against the 10 men of Athletic Bilbao. 30 minutes remain. Casemiro and Lindelof having a little bit of a disagreement down there in the middle. Lindelof will just take the ball away by Sonardi. Manchester United keep their concentration, keep their discipline, don't allow Athletic Bilbao back into the game. This will be a sort of scoreline that many Manchester United fans who've travelled here to northern Spain could only possibly have dreamt about, as Euro under pressure from Inaki Williams. Maguire, Euro clears the ball away. 3-0.
Well, these are chances that Manchester United didn't take in the first half. They don't need to be taking chances. Maguire and Euro playing the silly short passes in and around their own 18-yard box, putting the ball at risk. They don't need to give Athletic Bilbao any type of inclination they can get back in this game.
Yerai's just been booked, snapped into the challenge and caught Garnacho. Another goal in the UEFA Conference League semi-final in Sweden. Djurgården, Chelsea, John Southall.
And surely this ties over. Djurgården 0, Chelsea 3. Terrible mix-up between Stahl and his goalkeeper Reiner, and Nicholas Jackson profited, snuck in and tucked it in. Djurgården 0, Chelsea 3.
It was a poor challenge, that, wasn't it, from Yerai?
Really poor challenge. The frustration that we're feeling in the stands all around us is slowly creeping down onto the pitch. The home dugout below us keeps emptying out every time the referee blows the whistle, and the players in turn are getting frustrated as well.
It's not the red and white scarves that are being swirled around their heads. Instead, that cry, that defiant cry inside the San Mamés Stadium. The arms were aloft of every Athletic supporter. Their side trailing 3-0. Hoyland pulls it to the edge of the area. Ugarte gets the shot away on the rise, right-footed, patted down by the goalkeeper, Aguirre Zabala.
Good centre-forward play. Rasmus Højlund gets in behind, he holds the ball up, he's got his back to goal. Sees Ugarte on the edge of the box, who does well with his first touch, creates space, but unfortunately for him, he can only shoot straight at the goalkeeper.
You just walked into the stadium now, and you look at the support from Athletic Bilbao, you wouldn't actually believe that their team are trailing by 3-0.
Are coming together in adversity, I think, something along them lines, isn't it?
Certainly is. Here is Ugarte. Live on BBC Radio 5 Live, also live on Radio Manchester tonight. And the Tottenham game is currently on Sports Extra, both available through the BBC Sounds app. 62 minutes played. Ugarte at a walking pace, just ushers Euro to come forward. Dorgu has stayed high up on that far side, the left. back with Ugarte. Full time at Nottingham Forest. Chris Coles.
Nottingham Forest 0, Brentford 2. Forest Champions League ambitions dented by an efficient Brentford. Sharda in the first half, Visser in the second. Two very similar goals. Forest look tired and a long way off their best. They stay 6th. Brentford right in the mix for a Europa Conference spot. Forest 0, Brentford 2.
Manchester United are going to make a change. De Ligt is going to be coming on. Here is Mazraoui, gets the ball out towards Garnacho. Garnacho in the penalty area, back towards Mazraoui with his back to goal. Casemiro, placed effort, right-footed, tipped over by the goalkeeper. Aguirre Zabala, it was on target too. Corner kick to Manchester United, they lead 3-0.
Decent effort by Casemiro. This is what Manchester United are doing. They're weaving their way in behind this Athletic Bilbao defence, creating chances for themselves. This time it's Casemiro at the edge of the box. Didn't really get enough power and purchase on the shot. Probably trying to be too precise. Easy one for the goalkeeper, but he has to tip it over and concede another corner.
Bruno Fernandes waits to take the corner kick. Manchester United in their dark blue shirts. Short corner on the near right-hand side. And almost an opportunity for Casemiro inside the 6-yard box on this near side. Might have just clipped the outside of the post and into the side netting, almost a fourth.
Such a simple corner from Manchester United. All the intricacy that we've seen in the set plays that they've had tonight. That's just a simply whipped near post, out-swinging corner from Bruno Fernandes. Casemiro completely unmarked, clatters his header against the near post. That's unfortunate. Really good jump, leap by Casemiro at the near post.
Leading 3-0. Then consider that Mazraoui's hit the crossbar, Casemiro the post, and they also had a goal disallowed.
And who says they can't score goals?
Well, they have certainly taken their opportunities tonight. De Ligt and Ahmad, both in training yesterday. And in fact, we're also going to see Mason Mount coming on too. So it's going to be a double change. But for De Ligt to get a run out here, he's been out with an ankle problem. Missed the last 6 matches since the start of April. And Maguire is going to be coming off. He's been told to hurry up by the referee. So Harry Maguire, that dramatic winner against Lyon, and then his superb work on the right-hand side for the first goal. He comes off for De Ligt, and then the other change will be Ugarte coming off for Mason Mount.
Excellent night's work for Harry Maguire once again. In the news for not for his defending, but for his twinkle toes, this time on the right wing. Wonderful assist in the first half, or pre-assist as we call it now, don't we? Because Ugarte got the flick on at the near post for Casemiro. And important for De Ligt coming back from injury now. Gets 25 minutes into his legs tonight, and Mason Mount also coming back into the frame at Manchester United. We know the system, the formation won't change, just the personnel freshened up by Ruben Amorim.
Mason Mount, who after 3 months out, has now been a substitute in each of his last 8 appearances, working his way back to full fitness. Manchester United lead 3-0. Tottenham are 2-0 up against Bodo Glimt. The return legs next Thursday, but both sides on course for a meeting here in Bilbao on May the 21st. And Chelsea well set for the Conference League final a week later in Wroclaw. And in fact, there's been another goal in Sweden. John Southall.
Job done, Djurgården 0, Chelsea 4, Nicholas Jackson on as a sub at half-time, just scored his second, brilliant finish into the top right-hand corner, 12th of the season, and surely Chelsea are going into the final. Djurgården 0, Chelsea 4.
Those flights will be getting booked up for Poland by the Chelsea support. Manchester United 3-0. Ball played out by Casemiro to Yoro. Mason Mount gives it back to Yoro. Every outfield player is in the Athletic Bilbao half away towards our right-hand side.
And you know, it's a really interesting change what Ruben Amorim's made, because he's taken Ugarte off, who's been sat as a defensive holding midfielder alongside Casemiro. He's brought on Mason Mount, who is now playing higher up the field. So he's thinking like me, Ruben Amorim. He wants the job done tonight. He wants to push on, get more goals. Casemiro is now sat as the deepest line midfielder. Fernandes will sit alongside him at points, but Fernandes, Mount and Garnacho are now almost a 3 in behind Højlund. He wants another goal.
So Chelsea leading 4-0. Real Betis in the other semi-final are 2-0 up at home to Fiorentina. And there's now been another goal in North London. Alistair Bruce Ball.
Third goal for Tottenham. What a coolly taken penalty by Dominic Solanke. Did it in the quarter-final against Eintracht Frankfurt. Ran to the ball, swung his right leg back, almost paused, stopped like a statue. Goalkeeper went to his left, Solanke to his right. Romero was fouled for the penalty. Tottenham haven't started the second half well, but listen to the noise inside the stadium. We could be heading towards Tottenham against Manchester United in the Europa League final. Tottenham 3, Bodo Glimt 0.
Cross from that right-hand side for Athletic Bilbao. Ange Postecoglou could still yet deliver on his promise of always winning silverware in his second season. Stabbed away by Casemiro, held up by Højlund, and then the ball passed out by Bruno Fernandes to Garnacho. Takes a tumble. Boccice gives it towards Nico Williams. Haven't really seen much of him, but he now works his magic. He goes to ground and the referee says no penalty as he dropped to the floor inside the penalty area. Midway through the second half, Manchester United now pick up the loose ball, and it's with Mason Mount running forward. Dorgu is coming up on the overlap on the left-hand side. Mason Mount to the edge of the area. Here is Dorgu to his left inside the box. Here now is Garnacho. Shot blocked and will fall to Inaki Williams midway through the Athletic Bilbao half. And Inaki Williams goes away from a non-existent challenge from Euro. Now running at the heart of the Manchester United defence. Lindelof backpedals. Sanade stumbling, fumbling his way to the edge of the area, and he loses the ball on the edge of the box.
Risky from Manchester United, committed bodies forward, committed men forward, going looking for that fourth goal. Left herself exposed. There were 3-on-3 at the back at one point. That's not a situation that Manchester United want to find themselves in going into the last 20 minutes or so of this game.
Manchester United 3-0 up. Tottenham are leading by 3-0. Tell you what, Bilbao could be extremely busy in a few weeks' time.
You're allowing yourself to think already. You don't want to get ahead of yourself already, do you? I mean, there's a lot of football still to play, but for the Premier League and for those two clubs, and let's be honest, we've said it before and we've said it in the build-up, both of these two huge clubs' season rests upon this trophy. Not the immediate success of winning a trophy, the longevity of a Champions League appearance next season and the financial reward that brings, and potentially the Tottenham manager's job rests on that as well.
And a place in the Champions League as well, so many implications at play. Another goal in Sweden. John Southall.
Well, Djurgården have got one back. Djurgården 1, Chelsea 4. Alamehu on as a substitute, downward header 8 yards out. They've got one back. Djurgården 1, Chelsea 4.
Manchester United lead 3-0. 20 minutes remain. Ball out to Mazraoui off the chest on this near side, in towards Garnacho. Boccice wins the challenge, the very experienced left back. The clearance, though, will only go as far as Lindelof off his chest and a walking pace towards Mazraoui. Bruno Fernandes just jogging back. And then that was a late challenge coming in from Prados. Referee lets play continue. Euro steps forward with the ball for Manchester United. BBC Radio 5 Live, also available on the BBC Sounds app. Here now is Bruno Fernandes at a walking pace right of the centre circle. Garnacho with a layoff towards Lindelof, back inside to Bruno Fernandes. Garnacho finds it at a pocket of space, but then the ball is given away by Bruno Fernandes. Nico Williams sidesteps the challenge from the Manchester United captain and then slips, and Manchester United are back in possession.
That's better from Manchester United. Higher defensive line up on the halfway line, regain possession very quickly, and once again back in comfortable possession of the ball. De Ligt, Casemiro recycling the ball. But you do just feel, listen, 3-0 is an incredible result, but you do feel there is an opportunity for Manchester United in the remaining 20 minutes to go ahead and get that all-important fourth goal that really would put this tie to bed, beyond any doubt.
It would definitely do that. We're going to obviously be without Vivian for the return leg at Old Trafford next Thursday. Not necessarily too sure that their leading scorer as well with 17 goals, Oyen Santhet, will be fit as well after he picked up an injury last week. Referee gives a free kick to Manchester United, and the omens look good for an all-English final.
It's gone very, very quiet inside this stadium. I mean, before the game, walking up to the game, you just felt there was a real buzz, a real vibe, wasn't an intensity. I even turned to you when we walked in the stadium tonight and said, I worry for Manchester United tonight. They're playing against such a good team. The atmosphere, the stadium, but you've got to give them so much credit. They've come here, they rode out the storm in the first half, they were clinical, they took their opportunities, and it's been a very good performance.
Fernandez with a free kick, drops onto the head of Casemiro. That's the voice of Paul Robinson, the former England international goalkeeper, who's with us here in Bilbao. As Aguirre Zabala just waits and then throws it out. They have Unai Simon, the Spanish international, who's on the bench, but the 24-year-old Spanish goalkeeper, now in his 4th season, throws the ball out over on that far side. He's been the Europa League goalkeeper. As this loose ball picked up, Prados swings over the cross and caught by Onana, and Luke Shaw is going to be coming on for Manchester United just to try and freshen things up at the back.
It's a simple take that for Onana. The ball out on the right-hand side, looped up high into the centre of the box, and it's for Andre Onana and the Manchester United back three. It really is about concentration. We saw how they were 2-0 up in France in the first leg, and they let that slip. Defensive mistakes, goalkeeping errors, and they're in such a good position now tonight. Concentration is key between now and the end of the game. They cannot afford to concede.
Ball given away by Dorgu. That was also loose though by Athletic Bilbao in the midfield, but Inaki Williams manages to get, well, no, I was going to say get it out towards his brother Nico, but it was hit with too much force, and although he applauds the idea, it goes out for a Manchester United throw, and Luke Shaw will be coming on, and it's Mazraoui who is going off. So Luke Shaw, who made his first start since February against Bournemouth at the weekend, he will come on, and Mazraoui goes off with some 16 minutes remaining. Manchester United very, very comfortable.
Yeah, just looking at what they're going to do now. Manchester United, with regards to wing-backs, Luke Shaw, as we know, very left-sided. Patrick Dorgu's come over, and he's changed onto the right-hand side where Mazraoui was, and Luke Shaw in his more favoured position on the left-hand side, playing as a left wing-back.
Only 1 win in 7 coming into this game. That was that dramatic victory in the quarter-final, 5-4 against Lyon. But they do look well set for the Europa League final. Both English clubs leading by 3-0 in the first leg of the semi-finals. Nico Williams challenged by Dorgu, coming back now on this, as Paul says, on this near side the right, Lindelof. But Manchester United haven't, since they took the lead on the half hour, I can't recall many scares for Manchester United.
How many times have we said his name down there tonight? Andre Onana. Very, very rarely. Made an excellent save very early on in the first half. Shot low down to his right-hand side, which he turned around the post. And other than that, Athletic Bilbao have had very, very few opportunities. There was a free header early on in the game for Inaki Williams, where he should have at least hit the target, probably scored. But other than that, since going a goal ahead, Manchester United defensively have been excellent.
Ball played in by Dorgu. Mason Mount, right-hand side of the area with a cross. And it required, and it needed Paredes to get there as he scrambled on the edge of the 6-yard box to clear, put it out of play for a throw. Taken quickly by Manchester United on the right-hand side. Ball passed back along the ground towards De Ligt. He goes inside to Casemiro, who finds an area for Højlund. Infield to Bruno Fernandes. Now to Dorgu. 10 yards in from the right touchline. Left-footed cross, delivered deep and curls all the way out of play for a goal kick. But Manchester United lead 3-0, and we have 14 minutes remaining of normal time.
This is going to be a huge result for Manchester United. Said before the game that a draw would be a good result, or even a defeat by 1 goal, because we know how strong Athletic Bilbao are at home. We've been through all the stats, we've been through all their season records. They are an extremely strong side in the Liga. I mean, they sit 4th in the Liga, 6 points behind Athletic Madrid, 16 points off Barcelona at the top. They're looking like they're going to qualify for the Champions League through La Liga as well, because they've got 5 places. You can't underestimate what a job Manchester United have done here tonight.
Here is Sonardi. Was he clipped by Mason Mount? Yes, he was. Mason Mount was shown a yellow card. And the ironic cheers from the Athletic Bilbao supporters. Some of them actually rise to their feet and wave the arms as they almost astounded that a decision has gone in their favour, and Mason Mount, the substitute, has just been shown a yellow.
Yeah, concentration again for Manchester United now. Athletic Bilbao, they've got a set play. Manchester United holding a high line, 10 yards outside their own box. This is important, the communication between the defenders and the goalkeeper.
Manchester United, who've only kept 2 clean sheets in their last 17 games since the end of January. But that's a good header away by Casemiro. Haven't really looked like conceding at all after those early chances for Athletic Bilbao. Manchester United have a stranglehold on this game, and they could increase their lead as Garnacho tries to run free, and in the end wins Manchester United a corner over on that far side, the left.
And that's the pace that Garnacho has. He's been a threat the whole game, but now as the game's starting to open up, if Athletic Bilbao are coming out, the turnover of possession, the ball in behind, for somebody like Garnacho, the pace that he's got and the ability that Mason Mount's got to find him, he can unlock defences. Manchester United got a corner over on the far side. Bruno Fernandes ambling over to take it in front of his own supporters, high above him. Another opportunity for United to put the ball into the penalty area.
Fiorentina have got a goal back, by the way. Real Betis 2, Fiorentina 1 is a latest score in Seville, as the corner comes in on that far side, and it was an in-swinger from Bruno Fernandes, and just required Aguirre Fabala just to take one step, and it was a quick step back towards his goal line to catch it two-handed with 12 minutes remaining. Manchester United 3-0 up.
I think he's had a shot there, Bruno Fernandes. I think at this stage in the game, everyone's expecting the delivery into the box. I think he's just tried to catch the goalkeeper out. Cheeky corner from Bruno Fernandes.
Unai Gomez waits to come on. Spanish under-21 international midfielder. Ball in towards Sonardi. It's looked quite cumbersome at times, hasn't he, the big striker?
He struggled against the three centre-halves that Manchester United have had. They've controlled him very, very well. That system that they play, Manchester United, the three centre-halves, only had one to deal with tonight, Sonardi, and he's had very little service. And the Manchester United defence have marshalled him extremely well.
Nico Williams with the cross. He's looked very tired as well, Sonardi, as his head dropped, shoulders are sagging as it went over his head, and out for a Manchester United throw. And Ernesto Valverde, who's in his third spell as manager of Athletic Bilbao, formerly of Barcelona and Olympiacos, has done well actually in the third spell, but has got to try and create a bit of magic. Nico Williams is the player going off, one of the top players at the Euro. We watched last night with admiration for Lamine Yamal and the way that he performed, but Nico Williams has been unable to try and produce the magic that we saw in Spain's Euro success here this evening.
Well, what does that tell you about the Athletic Bilbao manager's mindset now, Valverde? He doesn't want to concede any more goals, and Nico Williams is that much of an important player to him. He's not going to offer him anything between now and the last remaining 10 minutes of this game. They've got a huge derby at the weekend against Real Sociedad as well, that they're going to want to perform in and get the result. Obviously the return leg at Old Trafford next week. If they are to get anything from this tie, Athletic Bilbao, it doesn't look like there's going to be anything in it for them tonight.
It's going to be the end of a 10-match unbeaten run at home since losing to Osasuna in mid-January in the Copa del Rey. Dorgu off the chest, keeps the ball in play on this near side, the right level of the penalty area. Back with Lindelof, forward ball by Casemiro. Athletic Bilbao win the ball now in the midfield. Haraguita has lost it though. Here is Højlund into the D, back to Bruno Fernandes, and the goalkeeper pushes it away down towards his left-hand side, pushed it out towards Dorgu. Still the pressure remains. Casemiro's teasing ball in. It dropped as it curled on a diagonal into that dangerous area in the 6-yard box, and it flashes its way out for a goal kick. Manchester United in front of a crowd of 51,890. The record attendance was 52,114 against Rangers in the previous round. And it's still 3-0 to the away team.
What a ball that was by Casemiro. Garnacho really unlucky not to get on the end of that at the far post. He was on the angle from the 18-yard box, 5 yards out, and he's put it between the 6-yard line, the horizontal 6-yard line, and the post, and he's just gone in that gap there. The goalkeeper's pulled his hand away, didn't want to touch it. Wonderful cross by Casemiro.
Manchester United take a quick free kick. Up it goes to Højlund. Paredes goes with him, ushers him out. Paredes actually pushed Højlund. There was a blatant push. The crowd might complain. The referee's got that, and then Højlund collided into, I think it might have been Gorosabel on the far side, but the referee was absolutely bang on.
They've had a few decisions, let's say, go against them tonight, Athletic Bilbao, that they feel hard done to. But a decision like that, there's two hands in Højlund's back, and it's just a blatant push. The referee can't not give a free kick. You can understand the discrepancy maybe on other decisions, but the fans and the players inside this stadium are so frustrated with this referee. Every time he puts his whistle to his mouth and points in the direction of Manchester United, the place is in uproar.
The Manchester United supporters we can hear high up over on that far side. as Manchester United have a free kick 10 yards in from the left touchline. Bruno Fernandes is going to take it. He plays it along the ground. Dorgu hits it first time, left-footed. Blocked by those red and white striped shirts that were packed inside the penalty area. And then Luke Shaw will tidy up on the halfway line all the way back to Andre Onana, who has been almost like a bystander for large parts of this semi-final first leg here on 5 Live and also Radio Manchester.
They've controlled the second half, Manchester United, how they had to. That'll be one of the words that Ruben Amorim will have said at half-time. He said, look, whatever we do not concede. The concentration to get through this half, protect the goalkeeper, stay switched on, stay with your men, track runners, and they've done that, Manchester United. Going forward, they haven't been as potent as they were in the first half, but they're still searching for that fourth.
As Manchester United with Garnacho, almost got it. Garnacho again, keeps the ball in play with a cutback. Hoyland, first touch let him down with his back to goal, 8 yards out. And the ball runs out of play for a throw on that far side, 3-0.
Good play again by Manchester United. Luke Shaw it is this time on the left-hand side, cut back into Garnacho. Hits it well, strikes it first time, but straight at the goalkeeper. Again, ball recycled, and Manchester United can't make anything of it. But it gives the Manchester United manager now an opportunity to make 2 more substitutions down beneath us.
So Garnacho and Dorgu are coming off, and it is Amad Diallo and Mainu who are going to be coming on. Garnacho is told to hurry up, so Mainu comes on for Garnacho, and Amad and De Ligt coming back from injury. You know, that is another bonus for Ruben Amorim, an opportunity to get the players, as Garnacho shown a yellow card for taking too long to leave the field of play. De Ligt coming back into the side after injury, and in fact for Amad, hasn't played since February. He's missed the last 15 games. So he's going to get a valuable run out here for, what, 6 minutes of normal time.
Really good evening this could be for Manchester United, getting De Ligt back, Amad back, minutes on the pitch, also looking like they're going to win the game comfortably. He's changed his pack, Ruben Amorim, and every player to a man has put in a shift for Manchester United tonight. Garnacho's just departed, arguably one of the better players. I think he's always looked sharp, he's been a threat in behind, but they've played well tonight, Manchester United.
In the Premier League earlier, Nottingham Forest 0, Brentford 2. Tottenham lead Bodo Glimt by 3-0. Chelsea are 4-1 up away at Djurgården, and Real Betis lead Fiorentina by 2-1 in the other Conference League semi-final. This is BBC Radio 5 Live with 5 minutes remaining of normal time. Saturday's 5 Live Sport, Everton Ipswich, the penultimate game at Goodison, will be the 3 o'clock commentary. Arsenal Bournemouth follows at 5:30. And on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday, Brighton and Hove Albion against Newcastle is the commentary at 2, to be followed by Chelsea against the champions Liverpool. Brentford Manchester United at 2 is on Sports Extra. West Ham against Spurs, a 2 o'clock kickoff, will be on the BBC Sport website. That's before we return to European competition, where we'll be live in Paris next Wednesday for that Champions League semi-final second leg. Arsenal looking to overturn that slender deficit, and then a choice of listening for the 2 Europa League semi-finals in a week's time. Spurs will be in the Arctic Circle, Manchester United will be at Old Trafford. But this is their 100th game in the Europa League, and its various guises, the Fairs Cup and the UEFA Cup, and they're going to celebrate it with a victory, and surely a platform to progress to the Europa League final and a return trip to northern Spain in 3 weeks' time.
They've done very, very well tonight, Manchester United. A professional performance in the first 20 minutes to keep tight when they were under pressure in the atmosphere, what they came out into tonight, the expectancy from the home crowd. They managed that, they measured that, they took hold of the ball, they got possession and they got the goal.
Shaw with a cross, Bruno Fernandes first time right footed, couldn't keep it down. 12 yards out, hit it with the outside of the right boot, over the top, goal kick, still 3-0 United.
You almost expect to see the back of the net ripple there, don't you, Bruno Fernandes? Looking on the replay now, he's running away, he's frustrated with himself. Luke Shaw's done well since he's come on down that left-hand side. He doesn't just flash it across the box, he looks up, pulls it back strategically to the edge of the box to Bruno Fernandes, outside of the right boot, up and over the crossbar, unlike him.
Alvaro Jallo is going to be coming on, and it is going to be Inaki Williams who leaves the field of play. So it's a 25-year-old forward who's gone 20 games without a goal. Scored 16 goals for Braga last season, but has really struggled. 1 goal in 24 appearances since his arrival, as there is a trickle toward the exits from the Athletic Bilbao supporters as they see their side trailing by 3-0. Manchester United, winners of the Europa League in 2017. They lost 4 years later to Villarreal, but look well set to reach the Europa League final once again. Ahmed waits for this bouncing ball to settle. Level the penalty area on the right-hand side, under 3 minutes remaining. Comes on the inside, plays the ball in field. Bruno Fernandes controls it, right-footed. Højlund with a header, couldn't get over it. 7 yards out, flag was up anyway, wouldn't have counted, still 3-0.
Mistimed his run there, Højlund. Watching him from up here, you can see the shift that he puts in. He really works hard for his team, Rasmus Højlund. Gets himself in some good positions, but his enthusiasm sometimes takes him that little step too far. And that was the case there. He can see that he's got himself in a really good position, but his willingness, his enthusiasm, his want to get on the end of crosses just takes him offside.
3-0 to Manchester United here. It was 3-0 to Tottenham. There's been another goal. Alistair Bruce ball.
This time for Bodo Glimt. Now, you wouldn't say it turns the tie on its head, but we've been saying it ahead of this tie all week. Bodo Glimt's home record is quite something on the artificial pitch. Tottenham now only have the 2-goal cushion. Ulrich Saltness, the captain, allowed the freedom of the Tottenham box, the shot deflection of Bentancur's left boot, and that gives Bodo Glimt some hope. Their fans joyous in bright yellow here. Tottenham 3, Bodo Glimt 1.
On the Commentators View podcast that we actually recorded with Ali and John Murray this morning, I think it'll drop on the 5 Live Football Daily feed tomorrow. I teased the fact that Herr Chapman sometimes becomes this editor-in-chief when he's the presenter, and I'm not getting ideas above my station, but I would suggest now with that goal that, and obviously the hierarchy will make the decision, the editor or the editors, but I would suggest now that Tottenham Bodo Glimt next Thursday will be on 5 Live and Manchester United will be on Sports Extra.
Well, Bodo Glimt lost at Lazio 3-1 and obviously went through on penalties. They won at home 2-0, but they lost the away leg 3-1. So it's not a scoreline that they're adverse to, playing against. They won at home 3-0 against Olympiacos, lost away 2-1. Won at home 5-2 against FC Twente, lost away. There's a theme there, isn't there? Very good at home.
You've been doing your homework. Shaw with a free kick for Manchester United, drops inside the area, calls all the way out towards De Ligt. De Ligt tries to place it back across from the right-hand side, comes off the back of the legs of Bacice, and it'll go out for a Manchester United corner kick, as there are a line of stewards that have formed not just on the outside of the Manchester United away contingent, high up away towards our right, but right through the middle of them as well with their luminous jackets. 30 seconds remain of normal time. Manchester United with those 3 first-half goals still very much in the ascendancy. Corner kick for Manchester United on the near side, the right. And it's played by Ahmed to Bruno Fernandes, who chips it into the penalty area. The header out, Euro will let it run towards Mason Mount. Shaw passes the ball back out to Mason Mount on that far side, the left. He goes infield to Mainu. They work it back out towards the left again. In comes the cross towards Højlund, and then it's cleared away by Paredes. We're going to have 4 minutes of added on time here in the San Mamés Stadium, where Manchester United looking for a 4th goal to round off what would be an excellent night's work. Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, De Ligt. Every outfield player is in the half away towards our right. Athletic Bilbao are chasing, and they're chasing shadows at the moment. Manchester United in utter control.
I think we're already at a stage where we can call it an excellent night's work, can't we, from Manchester United? I don't think you can underestimate the task that was in front of them this evening. Playing against a very good side who are very rarely humbled at home, especially the way that Manchester United have come here and controlled the game. Granted, against 10 men, but they've still had to perform, Manchester United, and they have done.
Athletic Bilbao forward, the cross. Euro takes it out of the path of De Ligt. There was Bruno Fernandes, Ahmad, Fernandes all getting a little touch. Mason Mount loses out in the challenge by Prados. Now an opportunity to come forward. This is Jallo doing 2 or 3 step-overs into the penalty area, surrounded by blue shirts, battling for it. Casemiro too strong, helped out by Bruno Fernandes. Good block by Euro, and Manchester United haven't kept many clean sheets, but they stood firm there under late pressure from the Spanish side.
It's the first time in the second half we've seen any real attacking intent from the home side with 10 men.
Ball works out towards that right, in it comes, and the header unable to get over the top of it from Unai Gomez, off target, goal kick.
It remains Athletic Bilbao 0, Manchester United 3.
They dared to venture into the final third of Manchester United, but they dealt with it well, defended it extremely well, defended the cross. The cross was too high that time for Gomez, came to nothing. Manchester United now taking the time with this goal kick. Lenny Yoro's just been booked for kicking another ball onto the pitch. That's becoming a new tactic, that, isn't it? The players are getting onto that, kicking a second ball onto the pitch to stop the game. Referee wasn't having any of it, showed him a yellow card.
So Yoro booked, joining Mason Mount. By my watch, we are probably about 90 seconds away. Bruno Fernandes, I was going to say at a walking pace, he's hardly moving at all. He's so gentle is the pace that he's walking at, and that very nice and steady. See, already the stewards are starting to form down by the technical area. Wait for the final whistle just to see or hear the reaction aimed in the direction of the Norwegian referee Espen Eskars, because Manchester United took the lead through a Casemiro header on the half hour, but then the decision for Vivian to be sent off for a foul on Højlund, that Fernandes converted the penalty to make it 2-0 after 37 minutes. They will vent their fury at the Norwegian.
They'll feel hard done to, they certainly will. The penalty and the decision to send off Vivian has changed the game. It's changed the game completely. The whole complex of the game at that point did a 360, didn't it? The home team were the favourites. You think they'd be in the ascendancy. Started the game well, had one or two opportunities in the Manchester United box. Manchester United arguably scored against the run of play with that Casemiro header, but then the penalty that just changed everything.
Yoro, the free kick goes against Manchester United. We're inside the last 30 seconds of added on time. Athletic Bilbao 0, Manchester United 3. Manchester United just have to see out these closing seconds for what would be an excellent night's work in northern Spain. It's a free kick for Athletic Bilbao. Alvaro Jallo stands over it. You've also got Jaureguizar as well. Manchester United have got every dark blue shirt back in and around the penalty area. Jaureguizar looks like he's going to strike this from 30 yards. Jallo is also there. It's going to have to be something special. Time is almost up. Jallo hits it, and Onana makes the save. Hit it right-footed, sailed into the arms of the Manchester United goalkeeper. And Manchester United, that should be that. There indeed is the final whistle. Ruben Amorim said nothing can save our season. However, the prospects of a Europa League trophy remains very much a possibility for Manchester United, and they are surely bound back for Bilbao after an excellent night's work, where 3 first-half goals have surely given them the platform to progress as they lead by 3-0 to take into that return leg at Old Trafford.
It's taken a while, but that is the best performance from Manchester United under Ruben Amorim. You can't underplay the difficulty of coming here tonight. Yes, it changed when they went down to 10 men, but Manchester United to a man tonight were excellent. They understood their job, they understood their roles, they changed it up at times, they went longer, they went more direct. They put Casemiro alongside Højlund when Onana was taking long goal kicks or free kicks. Garnacho was a real threat, a thorn in the side. Harry Maguire was a leader, he was excellent. And for Manchester United as well, to get De Ligt, to get Ahmad, Kobbie Mainoo onto the pitch as well tonight, all in preparation for next week's home tie against Athletic Bilbao. For Tottenham and Manchester United, I don't think there's going to be much to see at the weekend in the Premier League. All eyes are on next week.
An all-English final